It might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3 in the Morning Extra. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Los, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Happy times.
Yes, I know. It's
Wednesday.
It is.
Listen, I enjoy Wednesday.
Halfway there.
I tell you, Tuesday's the only day where I'm like, I don't treat it like the armpit like you do, but I got to get through Tuesday. Got to grind through Tuesday.
I've come around a little bit on that.
But by the time we get to Wednesday,
buddy,
I'm a night away from the good old Thursday.
Dude, I'm telling you, Stripper Thursday's tomorrow.
That's right.
You can see
Friday's always Friday.
You can't touch it. But yeah, Wednesday's good, man. Stand on your tippy toes, see the weekend. Do you have big plans for the weekend? Have you laid this thing out yet? Because we have none.
I have to actually. I talk about this. I have to go to Cozy.
The Cozy calendar.
COZI.
Yep. I
have to go to Cozy and look up and go, all right, so let's see. There's a volleyball match on Saturday. Don't care about that thing. Sunday, we've got a birthday party. Okay, that's pretty laid back.
I like it.
And we have online learning days because now the schools in Forsyth County are starting the PSAT.
Oh, so everybody's at home doing class while the people taking the test are at school.
So,
got it.
Yes, some of the kids will be taking part in it.
Yeah.
But basically on Friday and Monday, there's not a whole lot going on. So
you just maybe get out of here.
I might be able to get lucky here and kind of do my own thing, not have to go pick up kids or drive them to somewhere.
Yeah, well, that's good because anybody that's been in that scenario, that can become overwhelming after a while. It's every day. You're just like, oh, my Lord. I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It is, and it's quality time.
But when you get a weekend where you don't have it.
But you don't have it.
You're like,
that's
okay,
right.
that's a breather.
This is great.
That's a breather. I'm getting ready to start club volleyball season, and my wife and I were looking at it. There is 1 week where her and I each will have to take a flight to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Because on the first weekend will be the younger girls trying to qualify to go to nationals. And then the next weekend, it's the older girls. It's not the same time.
Goodness, dude.
So you either take 2 flights to Minnesota on back-to-back weekends or you split it.
You split, which is the smart way of going. Yes, of course. Wowzers. Yeah, I remember those days, man. They're not that far in my rear view. And now that they're gone, I miss them.
Then we had to talk about how I've had the same phone since like 2017. And finally...
Well, you were upgrading the other day.
I was looking into it.
Did you go ahead and move forward with that?
I believe I'm going to do that this weekend.
Oh, let's go.
I have the plan all
brand new
out.
Box. There you go.
But here's the weird part about it. When you're upgrading to do a new phone after not having or having the same one for about 8 or 9 years, and I can tell because the pictures are from Kirby Smart's first year at Georgia. I have those on there.
And the new pictures look pixelated.
I'm like, that's different. Yeah. I then have to go, all right, well, I have to make sure that I have the right camera so that I can stream the volleyball matches on here.
I thought you were using an iPad for that.
I have in the past.
So you're doing both?
Well, yeah, but but now if we're splitting it up, I have to give the wife the pad while I do the phone. So there's a lot of planning going on here.
I follow the map now that you're picking up.
Yeah, when you're lucky with you, it's like, hey, I just got the one. I'm like, good. Yes. Nobody says, hey, can I go take the iPad over here to go stream this other match?
Well, see, and somebody else always did the streaming stuff because it wasn't until Jacob's senior year, his last year, that they actually streamed the games.
Well, first off, what are y'all, Poe?
Yeah, I reckon so. Or just lazy.
Or just lazy?
Could have been one. But I always handled the audio sound for everything. So somebody else had to handle that part. I couldn't do everything.
Okay. You did your part.
I did what I could do, and I did really good at that. But yes, I can see where this is having to buy a new phone, and But the beauty of the iPhone is nothing really changes. The functionality's the same. There may be some tweaks here, there.
It's a camera issue. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm looking at it going, I get 3 lenses on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
This old Pro, I'll take this one. Because and I can tell a difference because we went, this is probably 4 years old, 5 years, whatever it is. And it only has the 2 lenses.
Right.
And I can tell a difference when people are taking pictures, like say at a concert. I'll take a picture and then compare it to the people that took it with the 3 lenses. Buddy, it looks like they got an AP camera and I got yours.
Oh, you're making fun of my phone?
What? No, you were making fun of it.
No, the part that's rough. I have a hard time charging it now.
Oh well, yeah, that's
the cords that go into it. They're not seeming to fit correctly.
Right, and it's almost like that. It gets loose down at the bottom or something. I don't know what that's planned, man. That they know exactly what they're doing.
I got 8 years out of it.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So this weekend will be the weekend.
Yeah, so you're getting the upgrade, and it'll be good. And
then I'll have 3 cameras or 3 lenses on my phone.
Dude, I'm telling you,
it'll make your phone look like it's
it already does.
The Poe phone.
No, it is, and it is. It's like 4 years old, like I said. And you can tell a difference when you get the 3 lens thing.
Look how behind in technology you are with your phone.
No, that's not saying that.
I just don't ever take part in that race.
Well, yeah,
you know,
no, me
I gotta get the new one.
No, I don't. I don't want to spend an extra $1,000.
I have an iPhone 11.
Yeah, I think mine is a 14 maybe. So I'm like I said, I'm not much in front of you. And ours just died. Mine physically was like, and never came back on. I had to do it.
And my 11-year-old has an iPhone 11. Now, she doesn't really know that.
She just knows she's got a phone. It's all matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to her.
Yeah.
Like the older ladies in the house, they're the ones with like the 14s, 15s.
Yeah.
They've got nice phones.
Yes, no, I get it. But when you get those 3 lenses, man, I know it sounds silly, but you will be able to take AP quality pictures at ball games and concerts and volleyball games, and dude, it's unbelievable how much different it is. It really is good. Me and Dre almost got backed over by an 18-wheeler today.
Again, did you?
Yes.
You almost saw the man, huh?
Yeah, that's right. I saw George here.
It's Friday. And you're like, oh.
George peeked behind the clouds.
Do you think that at this point, but maybe both of you guys are on some like final destination?
It feels that way. But no, this one
the world's trying to kill you both.
This one's in front of the Roxy. As we were pulling up, this guy was backing in, pulling forward, backing in, pulling forward, backing in, pulling. And I was like, dude, have you never done this before? I mean, I don't know that I could do it.
It's a tight spot.
I'll
give him that. But I've seen other people do it on a first shot.
Me too. I've seen as many as we see out there. And but this dude, finally, he threw on the flashers and let me go around. And then and as I'm walking out of the parking lot, here comes Dre, and it seemed that he did basically the same thing for you, right? Just let you kind of.
He just waved me on.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm not. And he saw you waiting for minutes.
Dude, I'm telling you, I was sitting there. It was me and a battery security guard on foot, and we're walking up, and this dude just could not, Los. He could not put this 18-wheeler in the loading dock for the battery or for the Roxy
Again, I wouldn't want to do it.
Oh, me either. I couldn't do it, but I don't do it for a living.
But the people that seem to be able to do it, they do it pretty easily.
Yeah, and he was having a hard time. So big show tonight at the Roxy. It's a private event for Governor Hopeful Burt Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, Burt's going to hold a big event over there. Jason Aldean performing. And he did this about when Burt was running, I guess almost 4 years ago, when Burt was running for lieutenant governor. So they family, friends, have been doing that a long time. So we almost got ran over by Jason Aldean's tractor trailer driver. Almost ran us over.
I don't want it to kill y'all, of course.
No, thank you.
But if it took off a foot,
be a good story.
Be a lot of money to be made.
That's right. Absolutely.
I mean, the only thing that
few commas there.
Yeah, the only thing that'd be better is being hit by an Amazon truck,
buddy,
or a Walmart truck.
Man, how do you figure that out?
Well, afternoons are free. Let's start just hopping playing in traffic in the neighborhood in the afternoon.
You let the lawyers handle it.
That's right.
You turn into Tracy Morgan. You're like, oh,
dude,
how much I'm gonna win off of this?
No kidding, dude. That he got a bunch of commas because he was in a wreck in New York on the, I think Taconic Parkway or something, leaving New York City, and got tangled up with a Walmart tractor trailer.
Telling you, the best two to be hit by, Walmart or Amazon.
Gee, there's all kind. And let me tell you, he was so smart about it. We talked about this, how he never said a word.
He just collected.
That's right. See, that's the thing that most people don't have the ability to do. They have to tell somebody. Tracy Morgan, being a comedian, a guy that communicates for a living, a guy that tells jokes and talks to people for a living, went into he was like in a witness protection program. He was so quiet.
He did a Best Buy series of commercials after he got out of the hospital, and as he puts it in the commercial, he's like, "You haven't really seen me around for a while." He yells, "Because I've been in a coma." I'm like, that's funny.
That is, dude. He's so funny. I saw him do stand-up up in Chattanooga at a little comedy club up there, and he came out on the stage, and it was me and my best man at my wedding, who's San Antonio guy as well, just like you. Lives out there, runs a trucking company now as he retired from the Navy.
Trying to avoid hitting people?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. He is trying to avoid hitting people because he don't want to write those checks with the commas. But so he and I were just over the moon, couldn't wait. And Tracy comes out on stage and he's like, "Look, man, if you think I'm doing this Saturday Night Live-ish, you're wrong. If you get offended easily, right over there's the ticket booth. They've already been instructed. They give you your money back, no questions asked, if you're offended easily. And if you're not, buckle up." And he went on to be the most filthy. He made Eddie Murphy look like an amateur. His
stand-up is really abrasive,
dude,
and hilarious.
Raunchy.
It is not SNL.
By no means. Yeah. What was
you were not going to be getting that, like, hey, we're just having fun on Saturday night. No,
it was not that. It was straightforward, in your face. And he and I laughed. He was still in the Navy, and I had just gotten out, and we laughed. Nobody else in our group, about 8 or 10, laughed. They were part of the upset easily. Yeah, exactly. I was like, y'all should have went and got your money back. You should have went and got your money back. What did you expect at stand-up? You just never know which way it's going to go. But let me tell you, that dude is funny. God, I love that guy.
So he's been in a coma. That was his Best Buy ad. You haven't seen me in a while because I've been in a coma.
Got hit by this Walmart truck. But I'm back now. I'm good to go now. And still making money and still doing TV. Gosh, great. Tug and Los until 10, 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. We are glad that you're here. Bill Maher acknowledged Donald Trump's success. I thought this was great because this is the normal, sane Democrat. And there's so few of these people. They're unfortunately, there's so few people like this. Didn't vote for him, but I don't mind acknowledging success.
I will give some credit. You do have quite a number of those. Obviously, Bill Maher's one. You had to get it from Kimmel. You had to get it from Colbert. Everyone knowing which way the wind is blowing and saying, we got to give credit to Trump for getting a deal done in Israel and getting it done with the Palestinians. Now, we'll see how long it hangs together. But the fact that they got it done.
Yes, which is amazing. And there is a path forward, and you can be successful with this, but you're going to have to lay down the law. We told you on Monday that those Hamas fighters were going around killing people that weren't loyal to Hamas. That continues today. That continues right now. And Donald Trump he's addressed it. He said, we will disarm these people. We'll get to that a little later in the show. Let you hear from President Trump. But that's the thing. That there is a route forward, and there are sensible Democrats. And I don't believe that Jimmy Kimmel and those cats are sensible. I do believe.
No, I think it's which way's the wind blowing. I have to do this.
But I think Bill Maher's relatively sensible.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't put him in the same category as a Kimmel.
I call him a worthy opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
I will listen to you if you'll listen to me.
And I have respect for him. I have zero respect for Jimmy Kimmel. Stephen Colbert, no respect for those clowns. Because they're just... I don't believe in them. I don't believe what they're selling. I don't buy what they're selling. Everything with them is hateful. Bill Maher can be hateful, but at the same time, he's a guy that says, I recognize this, and I'm going to give you credit for it. I'm going to give you a hand salute and say, hey, nice job. And he even reiterated that I didn't vote for Trump, but when I see success and something that could move forward and change the future of the world, I have to take the time to at least address it and at least say, man, this is good. This is where we need to be going. I'm glad that he did that, and makes me like him that much more. Now, the protesters. I keep looking for them.
The ones who have suddenly disappeared.
I keep looking for them.
Who aren't talking about free Palestine.
Got my binoculars out.
I'm looking around I'm just waiting. I mean, if you were flying that Ukraine flag and you were telling me all about what's going on in Palestine, I'm like, where are you at?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
And why aren't you condemning Hamas for killing Palestinians, for not being loyal, and for working, quote unquote, working with the Israelis? Where are you on that? Are you not appalled that Hamas is murdering Palestinian people that just want to live a better life, that just want to live in peace? Why would you not be protesting that? Oh, was it never about the Palestinian people? Was it as simple as that, Los, that it's just never about them to begin with? It was more of a political thing? You thought, hey, how do we disrupt anything that's going on and anything that will be beneficial to the United States?
I think it's funny when now you're having like this, it's almost like rejudicating the entire conflict. But now you have to change the lens in terms of, well, it's all Donald Trump's fault. Like, he wasn't in office.
Is it?
For the amount of people that turn this into, well, look what the Israelis did to the Palestinians. Well, look what they're doing right now.
Look at what Hamas is doing. What
Hamas has done.
Which is what they've always done.
I was like, you're dealing with animals.
That's why it was never about the Palestinian people.
You're dealing with animals. And then when it comes to, and we'll get into this in greater detail, but when you start hearing from some of these hostages and the people that were guarding them, these aren't like war fighters. Mm-hmm. These are regular citizens.
Yeah, just regular folks with happen to have a high-powered weapon.
That happen to also be animals.
Yes, that's right.
It's a society of animals. Yeah. So when you get all upset about, well, the amount of weapons Donald Trump sent there, I'm like, good. And the same way that Joe Biden started it, good.
Yeah.
In fact, when it comes right down to it, Hamas is going to have to be spanked again.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
And where are the protesters? They're sitting on the sidelines, and I believe that they're fully just waiting to see which way the wind blows, and so they can turn this again into being an anti-Semitic, anti-American argument.
That's all it is. It was never about the Palestinians. Ever, 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 ever. Morning Extra on Extra 106.3 when we come back. Neil Port's the Talkmaster. The only place to hear from Neil is Extra 106.3, and you will hear from him next.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our Extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the Extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
Los calls me Meemaw now and then Jeray's jumped in on a little bit, and there's a bit of it that's true. And let me tell you what it is. When I'm sitting on the couch at home, I have me a little blanket laid across my lap or across my shoulders trying to stay warm, because my wife she loves the house really cold, and I'll run over there and bump up the temperature, and then later she'll walk by and bump it right back down. That's what goes on in our house. We fight over the temperature inside the house. But I've always got my little handy blanket just in case I am in the losing seat that moment. Here's the deal. I can't help you decide what the temperature should be in your house. I can't help you with that. What I can help you with is turning you on to a great deal if you're in the situation where your HVAC is in a place where it needs to be replaced. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they've got a great deal right now. Brand new Carrier system from Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Chuck and his team are going to give you up to $2,100 in rebates and 60 months of 0% financing with approved credit. Savings up front with the $2,100 and no interest for 5 whole years. Brand new Carrier system. You get dependability, you get efficiency, comfort that your entire family deserves. Look, what the temperature is in the house, you're probably still going to fight over, just like me and Laura do. But knowing that the temperature can be whatever you choose it to be because you got a brand new Carrier system, that is a pretty good spot to be. How do you get a hold of them? Easy. Call Chuck and his team at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's for True Prep. The weather's cooler, but the deals are getting hotter at True Prep's fall clearance sale. Take advantage of markdowns across every department, from firearms to prepping products, and save up to 66%. Don't wait. These deals won't last. And once they're gone, they're gone. Go to trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com and click the fall clearance sale banner at the top of the page to see all the items on sale. These deals are only good in store and while supplies last. So hurry into True Prep today.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A bride from Cincinnati who had her landlord walk her down the aisle makes today's Dean's List. Shacole Fox never knew her dad and went through life without an important father figure in her life. When she got engaged and started planning her wedding, she didn't realize how much she wanted a special person to walk her down the aisle. But on that day, she received a wonderful surprise from someone she never expected. Her 79-year-old landlord, Gil Pullian. Gil owns the studio where Shacole works as a makeup artist. She invited him to her wedding and was taken aback when Gil asked if he could escort her down the aisle. Clearly touched by the sweet gesture, she said yes, and the moment was unforgettable. Shacole says when the music started to play and he grabbed her hand, it was like a wound that had been healed in her heart. It gave her special day an even deeper meaning and a moment of love and kindness she will never forget. Janice Dean, Fox News.
This is House Call for Health. When you tweet may affect your sleep. People who post on X late at night report lower well-being compared to those who post on the app during the day. Researchers at the University of Bristol in England looking at data from more than 300 adults who shared access to their X accounts and filled out a mental health questionnaire. Analysts found that participants who posted on X between 11 at night and 5 in the morning scored around 4 to 8 points lower on well-being compared to daytime users. Anxiety scores were predicted to be around 1 to 2 points higher for night owl X posters. Older participants' data had stronger relationships between anxiety symptoms and posting time, and female participants had a slightly stronger relationship between posting time and depressive symptoms. The study was published in the journal Scientific Reports. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health, I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Wednesday, October 15th. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport has refused to air a DHS video featuring Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The video blames Democrats for the ongoing government shutdown. Airport officials say they aim to maintain a neutral environment. While the video has been rolled out nationwide, several other airports, including Portland and Phoenix, have chosen not to display it. Early voting is underway across Georgia for the November 4th municipal races and 2 Public Service Commission seats. The seats in Districts 2 and 3 are up for election after years of delay, with Republican incumbents Tim Echols and Fitz Johnson facing challenges from Democrats. Early voting ends on October 31st. And country singer Jay Allen is paying a visit to an Ackworth senior living facility for a live performance. His Living Gracefully tour aims to shine a spotlight on Alzheimer's and dementia. He'll be performing at Celebration Village in Ackworth tomorrow night. Today's weather, another beautiful fall day. Clear and sunny with highs in the lower 80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Oh, my goodness gracious. It is a good day.
He is here.
The man, the myth, the legend, Neil Mortz. Neil, what's up, man?
And I'm going right back to bed as soon as,
Okay.
Well,
because I can.
that's
Yes.
okay, Puma Borts.
That's
We
right.
back you on this.
That's right. You're wearing your nice comfy unders. And
Oh, he doesn't wear underwear at this point.
Whoa, okay then. And then cuddle up, maybe spoon with the queen or
Who
something.
knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, see.
I don't have a tea time, so what else are you going to do?
I would. I'd get me a egg sandwich and go back to bed.
Eggs. Oh, God.
What?
You don't like eggs?
Oh, God, no.
What?
Okay,
Eggs.
what's a Neil Bort's breakfast? I've never thought about even asking you this, but now I'm curious.
Well, actually, you're going to laugh, but I like oatmeal, and the easiest, quickest oatmeal breakfast in town is McDonald's.
Okay.
Okay, my kids dig it.
Yeah.
So it's you and them.
Yeah, and so Don and I were not too long ago. We're at McDonald's getting my oatmeal and a sausage patty, and Donna said, "Hey, that's Judge Judy over there."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I turned and looked. No, that's a homeless woman. That's not Judge.
Oh. I was going to say, is Judge
anyway,
Judy still with
Yeah,
us?
Judge Judy smells of money. Like, I don't think she goes to McDonald's.
Well, she lives next door. So,
Oh.
but we
got it.
very rarely see her. Very rarely.
Is she friendly when you do?
Hell no.
Oh. She's just as angry as she is on the
No,
TV shows?
I've never, of all the time we've lived in the same neighborhood, I've never heard anybody refer to her, oh, she's friendly. But then again, they never say that about me either.
Oh,
so,
see, I
at
wouldn't
any
say
rate, when we finished my oatmeal and walked outside, and there's this cream-colored Rolls-Royce convertible sitting out there, I looked at Don and said, okay, that was Judge Judy. You're right.
It wasn't a homeless person in the Rolls
No, it
Royce.
was-
Okay. That makes more
was
sense
her.
now.
But that level of celebrity is really, really very hard to live with.
Yeah, I've
I know.
had a conversation like that.
My wife and friends deal with Tug.
Well, no, that's definitely not that. But I mean, like with country artists that I've dealt with over the years, they say, man, I can't even go to, like it was Kenny Chesney specifically. He said, I can't go to Walmart. He was like, not because I'm too good. It's because I don't want to cause a mess for them.
Well, I'm in a much, much, much more minor sense. I mean, Donna and I, when we lived in Atlanta, first of all, I would have people, we had a driveway that was 200 feet long to get to our house.
Goodness.
And people would walk down that driveway. Thanks to the Atlanta magazine that decided they needed to tell everybody where we live.
Yeah,
they would walk down that driveway just to key our cars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Did you ever have to consider, or did you ever hire security to stop that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, I didn't have to. Cox would hire the security for us.
Oh, well, even better.
And when we were first married, living on Chamblee Dunwoody Road, I'd be laying in bed at night trying to go to sleep, and a car would drive by. F you, ports! So all that nonsense. But anyway, I note in the paper, and this is not a great topic for today, but I just happened to note in the paper that MARTA is now looking for a new leader. Why is that going to be so hard? Do you know how many career welfare recipients there are in Atlanta?
There should be somebody to take a hold of that. I mean, it's failing entity. It's not like it's going to get better. So just hire anybody.
Remember, at one time, and this was over 20 years ago, the chairman of the board of directors at MARTA was a career welfare recipient who had never lived in public housing all her life and had never held a job.
It's a surprise that MARTA didn't improve.
Yeah. So now I want you, can you imagine? I mean, come on, we need to cover this part of the whole Israeli thing. Can you imagine the distress of Democrat leaders and Democrat officials right now after Donald Trump walks in and gets this accomplished when Obama couldn't and Biden couldn't and Clinton couldn't? They've got to just be, rending their clothes, let's say, right now.
I'll tell you this, Neil, and this is something that I enjoyed yesterday, was going back almost a year in time and recognizing that outside of taxpayer dollars that went to Israel, the biggest contribution, the biggest moment of Joe Biden, like, look what we got done, was building a $500 million pier into Gaza that failed within 2 weeks.
And the Pentagon told them that it was going to fail, that it wasn't going to work.
And, well, they did that after D-Day in Normandy. That one worked. But that may be his single biggest accomplishment. Yesterday, AOC, nothing to say. Bernie Sanders, nothing to say. They're just sitting back saying, my God, how do we beat this? How do we get some support for Democrat policies and philosophy? We can't. It's not there. and they're just beside themselves trying to figure out how in the world they're going to get back on the program again.
Well, all their talk about fascism and this is what's going on in this country and look what Donald Trump is doing. When you deliver peace around the world, it really felt like their entire narrative took a monstrous hit yesterday. And I think that's a lot of the reason why many of them did not do what they typically do. Fascism, division, this guy is the next Hitler. If he's Hitler, he's doing a really bad job of taking care of being Hitler.
All time.
But don't ever forget the words of Han Solo.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, Han Solo. When Luke Skywalker scored his first hit on an Empire X fighter or whatever they call those things.
Oh, it's an X-Wing.
X-Wing.
TIE fighters, yes.
Yeah. I got one. And Han Solo said, "Good kid, don't get cocky."
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the message right now for the Republicans. Don't get cocky. Okay, you scored a big one here, but this whole thing is not over. Don't get cocky.
No, that's right.
I mean, there's a
talked about,
lot of work to do here.
There's a lot of yards ahead before you get to the touchdown.
So so my next question. Is Neil Bortz a Star Wars fan? I mean, you just went 1977 to New Hope. I'm just curious. This is a side of you that I don't know about.
Oh, early Star Wars, yes.
Yeah, so we both acknowledge that the first three movies, and that's the trilogy, and everything else is.
Yeah.
Well, one of the reasons I was such a Star Wars fan is that I completely understood the Force.
Nice. All right, explain this to Tug.
Yeah, I feel a little deer in headlights right now.
No. The Force is real. I mean, it is real.
Meaning evil?
No, not evil. But in 1972, I underwent Don and I both did, a totally life-changing event. We spent 2 full weekends, 12 hours Saturday, Sunday for two full weekends, going through something called Silva Mind Control.
Well, I got to look this up.
Wow, me too. What is this?
Or now I think they call it the Silva Method. But all it did was teach you how to use the power of your own mind. Isn't that what the Force is?
Wow,
That's the idea of it, yeah.
How to use your own mind. And I put it to work. Donna did, and it worked beautifully for us. How are we talking about this after this Gaza story? But I'll tell you this. After I took the bar exam, and the passing rate on the Georgia bar exam was very much lower at that time than the passing rate in most states. So I used the principles I learned from Silva to get together a bunch of senior law students. And, of course, I charged them and to teach them how to program themselves to pass the bar exam.
Well, I need you to help me program just to pass every day.
The bottom line is that over 80% of the people that I taught passed the bar exam.
We've got to schedule some time with Neil.
But here's what's so important about this, because a lot of it is the idea of you're able to enter a relaxed state and you're able to be alert and you're able to be cognizant of what's going on. It is the direct opposite of being emotional. And so, like, when you're sitting there arguing with your liberal friend who's going nuts over stuff, you're the one who's sitting there being rational because you can actually relax and be rational and alert.
Is that what Charlie Kirk did, do you think? Do you think he was capable of that? Because he was always calm in the face of people coming at him and calling him all kinds of names.
He found something that worked.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, it's not time for the Republicans to rest on their laurels.
No,
there is a lot of work now. We have Hamas saying, we're not going to disarm. Well, as it was explained earlier, I think in one of your newscasts, hey, you don't have the international support behind you that you used to have. So it's advantage our side right now. You can go ahead and beat your chest and try to talk tough after this agreement was reached. But, yeah, you're one way or the other. You're going to disarm. You know, I was watching, I love these things. I love these things on TV where you take college students. Yeah, it's genocide. It's and they're wearing their little scarves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then one guy says, well, you're wearing a sign that says, from the river, free Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Yes. Okay, tell me, what river, what sea? And all of a sudden, this look of complete stupidity falls across this girl's face. She stares at this guy, and she can't say what river, the Jordan, by the way, and she cannot say what sea, the Mediterranean. So she just looks at him like a deer in headlights, turns around and walks away.
Well, you've noticed they haven't really said a whole lot in the last 48 hours now that we have a peace deal. For those that were screaming on college campuses to free Palestine, I don't really see them out and about, hanging ribbons or celebrating any of this stuff, which to me basically says this was largely about being anti-Semitic and anti-American, and that was all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But here's another mystery for you. Check out the next election in New York City, which is going to be fun.
Well, I'm not sure how fun it's going to be, especially with, there's an article in the New York Times, I believe.
He's going to win.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely going to win. And that's the thing. Right now, people are noticing that Venezuela is falling apart and Cuba is falling apart, and there's rolling blackouts. Their money is worth nothing. They have nothing. And that's what they want for New York City and the United States.
Well, watch the election and note how many Jewish voters continue to vote Democrat.
That's going to be fascinating to watch that trend especially over the next year and into the midterms.
And how the hell does that happen?
Unclear. I can't make heads or tails of that.
But these Hamas people, I saw somewhere this morning an editorial cartoon, 3-panel, of Biden saying we'll negotiate, and Hamas saying we've got explosives or something like. The last panel had had Trump saying we've got the explosives, and Hamas saying we'll negotiate. They're afraid of him.
Yeah,
justifiably so. Could you imagine in your wildest dreams? And that, by the way, is such a great song.
By Taylor Swift, Wildest Dreams?
Wildest Dreams.
Yeah.
Such a great... But can you imagine any of those bloodthirsty Islamic radical goons over there being afraid of Joe Biden?
No, and the hostages said that, and Bibi Netanyahu said it.
Kamala Harris would be the easier option. And I'll tell you, Neil, and I think this is very astute that you brought it up, and I think this is really important, knowing that Donald Trump basically isolated Hamas, where Turkey turned their back on them, Jordan turned their back on them, Egypt turned their back on them, and basically they all told him, you better take the deal because he's got a big old stick and he's going to hit you with it.
I know. I think he did. I saw a cut. I don't know if it was 1 year old, 10 years old, 20 years old, Donald Trump. And he was saying, look, this is what I do. I make deals. He's basically saying, that is my only talent. I make deals. And he, by God, made one here. And I really want to see it hold. I imagine, now, one of you, tell me why I'm all wet here. Tell me why I'm wrong.
About the deal holding?
No, why can't Gaza, which is beautiful real estate, a little messy right now.
Yeah, lots of buildings down and things.
Yeah, but the cleanup can advance fairly quick because there's not a lot you're going to preserve.
It should be a paradise.
Why can't it be like Dubai?
Yeah.
Why, with beautiful high rises?
Yeah.
And right down to zip lines and harbors and yachts coming in from the Mediterranean. Why can't it be like that?
Well, it could if things work the way they're supposed to, and there's no way of knowing that it's going to. But that's why Saudi Arabia is on board. When Los was naming off the countries that now do not back Hamas, that do back the Donald Trump plan for peace, UAE's in there, Dubai's in there. You got Saudi Arabia and all the other countries too. They realize economically we can give our people a wonderful life, and they will be thankful to us and continue to have us as their leadership. So they see the economic value there, and I think they probably see it for that part of the world too. They see it for Gaza. The potential is there.
Well, they got to work fast, clean up, and start showing the world that can be a reality. And that makes a bunch of terrorist goons like Hamas. It puts them on the outside where they have no hope of coming. Could you imagine a group like Hamas having any foothold at all in Dubai?
No.
Get the hell out of here. We're not paying any attention to you.
Egypt has a very big border wall to prevent those Palestinians from coming across because they've had that radical element there that they've had to fight. Jordan, too.
But for the longest time, the Middle East has been oil money, but now they have expanded into, all right, we're getting more into technology, we're getting more into AI, we're getting more into golf. The more things they get involved in, the broader they open themselves up to the rest of the world. And they're basically looking at Hamas going, why are you so narrow-minded?
Why are you living in the Stone Ages still?
Yeah.
And then we have all these, so-called Palestinians, which is a total made-up term, by the way.
Yes.
But they're now coming back into the Gaza Strip, coming back in to reclaim whatever is left of what was once theirs. But this is a talent pool. These people all aren't mad, bloodthirsty, kill the Jews.
No, you're right.
And there's a talent pool. There's a labor pool.
Yes.
They could build something magnificent along that Gaza Strip with the help of the rest of the Middle East and particularly of Israel.
Yeah, they could.
But Hamas, these goons are going to be dedicated to regaining the power. And I something else I saw, some of the things that they might want to do in Hamas is, first of all, order new pagers because the last ones they had problems.
Yeah, they'll need a new form of communication.
One of the greatest moves in espionage ever.
Ever. There's nothing even compares.
I enjoyed those videos.
So I was like, man, that dude's butt just blew up in a store.
Dude looked down at his pager to see the number, and it blew up right in his face.
Wait a minute. What's this laid over here on the floor? It looks like a gonad.
Well, it turns out it is. Neil Bortz, the talk master.
Okay. Are you kicking me out now?
Well, no. You can stay as long as you like.
No.
But I was thinking you'd probably want that egg
That
sandwich.
means Tug.
And
eggs. Oh, God.
Or you want your oatmeal and then you go spoon with the queen.
I just want to let Neil know, do or do not. There is no try.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe that. Yoda was my hero in Star Wars.
I'm so impressed.
I identified with Yoda more than any other character there.
I'm too shallow to identify.
I would have liked to have played the role of Darth Vader.
You would have made a good Darth Vader because of your height.
Yeah.
And your stature.
Yeah, but you meant to say bulk.
Well, no, I didn't know. I would never say that. No, I always try to be polite, Neil Bortz.
Boy, did Luke Skywalker turn into a huge weenie.
Yeah, I sure did. But I will tell you, though, out of all the Star Wars movies, the only one, outside of the first three, Rogue One.
Yeah,
Rogue One is awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Neil, thank you so much.
Be good.
Neil says, boy, did Luke Skywalker not just turn into a big old weenie. Things that I didn't expect Neil to say. The best. The Talk Master. Only on Extra.
Mark Hamill is a weenie.
No kidding. Yeah, he absolutely is. But it's just, I didn't expect Neil to say it. Came out of the blue for me. Reckon what happened to the useful idiots? We'll answer that question for you next. Here on Extra 106.3.
Latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, October 15th. From the Major League Baseball playoffs, the LA Dodgers are now up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Brewers after a win last night, 5-1 the final. The Dodgers now head home for Game 3 tomorrow night. On the American League side, with their championship series, that continues tonight from Seattle as the Mariners lead the Toronto Blue Jays 2-0. That game will start at 8:08 tonight. Week 7 in the NFL begins tomorrow night. The Cincinnati Bengals host the Pittsburgh Steelers in an AFC North matchup. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Big moments deserve big-time craftsmanship. At Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we've been family-owned and operated since 1982 because we know what it means to show up when it counts. Jaron Solomon here, and that's why we're proud to be an official Tacori jeweler. Each Tacori ring is handcrafted in California, going through 20 elite artisans before it hits your hands. Not mass-produced, not generic, always personal. And with Solomon Brothers, you get lifetime cleanings, unbeatable financing, and the largest Tacori selection in Georgia. Stop by a store in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg. Visit SolomonBrothers.com to book your private appointment. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, where love is in the details and legends are built to last. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs and official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to GetWindowNation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free, plus no payments for 2 years.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPsetc.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why the big wireless companies want you on an unlimited plan? It's because they need you to help cover the cost of the 20-somethings who are using a lot of data every month. Fact is, according to the latest research studies, most people 50 and up, like me, only use 12 gigs or less each month. Don't get bamboozled by big wireless. At Consumer Cellular, pick what suits your needs. Whether it's 1 gig, 5, 10, or unlimited, the point is, pay for exactly what you need and nothing more. We use the same towers as the big guys, but since we don't own and maintain them, we can pass the savings on to you. Our plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. I want to invite you to join the millions of people who choose something better than big wireless. Because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
The Fan and Extra 106.3 are proud to salute all those who've served our great nation at our 2025 Veterans Day Golf Classic. Friday, November 7th at Heritage Golf Links. Join all your favorite Fan and Extra personalities for a day of golf, prizes, and fun, all benefiting our friends at the Warrior Alliance. Special thanks to the Atlanta Braves, Corona, Harris Cherokee Casino and Resorts, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Freebird Southern Spring Water, Henri's Bakery, and the Collar Spot.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra at Extra 106.3. 404-741-1230. Over in Gaza, we talked about this Monday. I heard Fox News and their radio updates that we have here on Extra mentioning it a little bit. Now the story's coming out a little more. But that's why you come here. We tell you things before everybody else gets to it, that people were being murdered in Gaza. The Hamas terrorists have not done anything that they said they were going to do for the ceasefire, and were going around and physically killing Palestinians who have not been loyal to Hamas or have been seen to be working with the Israelis, just murdering people. That's what this is all about. These people are Lo said it earlier in the show, animals. I mean, there's no other way to describe them, Carlos. That's exactly the summation that you can use, because that's what they are.
So we talk about this when it comes to communism, that when you go through a communist revolution, what will occur? There are useful idiots on the ground. And what happens? The communist knows that the useful idiot will be the first one to become disillusioned. So what do? They shoot them. And you're like, oh, that sounds kind of extreme. Well, that's the nature of what happens. It's happened around the world whenever communism gets instituted. And I bring that up to point out Mr. FAFO. Now, we can go through the name and everything else, but who this person is this was one of the primary people when it came to the Palestinians, when it came to Hamas, of creating propaganda. This guy was a social media influencer. He would go to hospitals and lay on gurneys and look like he's dying, and then film himself and then put it out there, and you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of interesting. Then he was also a member of the press. There was just a lot of
convenient that you would be a propagandist and a member of the press.
So strange. Yeah, Hamas shot and killed him.
Wow. I can't imagine that.
Because he served his purpose.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was all. That's what the useful idiot. It's funny how the terrorists have useful idiots just like the communists. It's like they're cousins from each other.
Well, I believe that they are.
And that's what's going on now.
That's exactly right, man. And you see that stuff all the time. And the craziness is his name will never be mentioned again. It's not like anybody's going, other than his family, there's nobody going to be like, oh, he was a great warrior for Hamas. He was a great warrior for the Palestinian people. No, he's going to be on the dustbin of history. Nobody's ever going to remember his name. And he thought, though, the crazy thing, Los, is that he thought he was doing something, this grand thing to help. He thought he was doing, and he thought he would be remembered by these people.
What do the street animals think? I'm coming along for the ride. Once the communists get into power, I'll be part of it. I'll be in the party.
No, sir, you won't.
I'll be a big deal with these people. No, you're not. And it's the same thing. This guy really thought if he spent 2 years putting together online propaganda for Hamas, that somehow he'd be rewarded at the back end. And what did he get? He got a bullet.
And it seems that there was some money involved, and of course, there's always money involved. He gets this big lump sum of money, and they're like, "Oh, we'll take that.
That belongs to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now that you have no need for it anymore." It's this.
Well, you can't spend it when you're dead. Exactly. They just make you dead.
That's right.
That's what terrorists do.
Imagine that. They had double reason, right? We don't need you anymore, and we want the big settlement. And we want this big fund that you have, this big $10 million payment you have. We'll take that too. Anybody that falls for this is unbelievable. And that's the crazy thing when we talk about these useful idiots like the ones that are in Portland and Chicago. Obviously different than the Hamas situation, but the same. It works all the same way. We look at these people as part of the problem, and they are. But people on the left see them as part of the solution. They're helpful. They're doing the work for us, man. We need more of these people. I can't understand how anybody on the left thinks partnering with somebody like that or supporting somebody like that is the good fight.
I would just like people to have to ponder this. So this guy who was having to dodge a genocide, was having to dodge ethnic cleansing, he survived 2 years of Israeli genocide and all the things that they say. He didn't survive 1 day of Hamas in peace. Don't need you anymore. You got to go.
That's the side that the left is partnering with. I mean, they're actively partnering with people like that, and they're promoting Hamas. And you wonder why Americans have turned on the left the way that they have when it's all 80-20, because everybody sees through that. And they see, man, everything you're putting out there is propaganda. Everything you're putting out there is bull. And we know better. We use our eyes and our ears. We're able to see it. Yet that 18%, man, they're hanging on to stuff like that. They're hanging on to people like that.
I mean, this guy was a cat. Like, he got murdered 7 or 8 different times online.
Right.
He kept coming back.
There he is again.
But didn't have 9.
No, he did not. Or even 8, for that matter. The left keeps wondering how Trump did the deal that President Obama couldn't do, that Joe Biden couldn't do. Next on Extra.
favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 106.3's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
You and your buddy. You've been through a lot with each other. The ups and the downs. He's been with you every morning, noon, and night. You've traveled the world together. Heck, he was even with you on your first big date. But have you noticed he's struggling lately? Not performing on the job. He can't even stand up straight anymore. He's wanting to cry out for help, but just doesn't know how. He needs Dr. Deal and Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They can give him the gift of good posture this year, help him stand proud and become all he was meant to be. Now, take him by the hand, look him in the eye and say, I appreciate you, little fella, and we're going to get you some help. We're going to call 404-777-1911. We're going to visit stopmyed.com. We are going to say goodbye to erectile dysfunction forever. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. It's a hard conversation to have, but it's one worth having. Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Online at stopmyed.com.
I'm Anna Eliopoulos with your Fox True Crime Minute. A gruesome killing in New York City. A Staten Island teenager facing murder and manslaughter charges, accused of decapitating his mother's boyfriend, a disabled sanitation worker. Last Monday, officers responded to a 911 call for a stabbing and found Anthony Casalaspro with multiple stab wounds. He was pronounced deceased on the scene. 19-year-old Damian Hurstel was arrested, and sources tell the New York Post he confessed to the crime, telling cops he committed the murder because he wanted to know what it felt like to kill, and that he planned to get rid of the body by dismembering him and pulverizing the pieces in a blender. Sources also tell the newspaper that he had had a history of mental issues. In an initial hearing, a not guilty plea was entered on Hurstel's behalf, with his attorney asking he receive psychiatric care, including being placed on suicide watch. There's more on this story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Anna Eliopoulos with your Fox True Crime Minute.
Hey, it's Flounder, and the Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. The story is the reaction to what really, truly happened and how these people are being successful getting the mainstream media and the social media to turn against conservative movement in this country and attack us for what happened to Charlie Kirk and blame that as an excuse for cracking down on free speech.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
One of the bodies Hamas turned over wasn't a hostage. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Forensic examination in Israel shows there's an unidentified Palestinian. The other remains given were dead hostages, but so far Hamas has still only turned over 7.
The news will add to tensions as families await the return of 21 deceased loved ones. The first phase of President Donald Trump's peace plan had a deadline for Hamas to return all hostages, living and dead, by noon local time on Monday. Terms published by the Israeli media last week appeared to acknowledge that Hamas would struggle to locate all of the bodies in time.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The ceasefire deal also calls for Hamas to lay down their weapons.
If they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
President Trump with a warning to Hamas, which is already in breach of the agreement by not returning all 28 of the deceased Israeli hostages. In Gaza, Hamas terrorists continued carrying out extrajudicial killings in public squares of those they suspect of collaborating with Israel and clans they suspect could threaten their authority.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin in Tel Aviv. The U.S. military has blown up another boat off the Venezuelan coast suspected of trafficking illegal drugs, the 5th one. President Trump posted video of it on Truth Social, writing they killed 6 narco-terrorists on board. At the White House on what would have been Charlie Kirk's 32nd birthday, the president paid tribute, calling the murdered conservative leader
a fearless warrior for liberty, beloved leader who galvanized the next generation like nobody I've ever seen before.
He awarded Kirk the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, accepted by Kirk's widow, Erica.
Charlie, baby, I know that you're celebrating in heaven today, but gosh, I miss you. We miss you.
6 foreign nationals will have to leave the country for social media posts making light of or celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination last month. The State Department revoked their visas. Civil rights groups have criticized that as violations of free speech. America's listening to Fox News.
Dr. Halbert here. Are you tired of standing in front of the paint aisle wondering which product really works? That's exactly why I invented Blue Stop. It took me 10 years to perfect Blue Stop's unique and effective formula. As a surgeon, I saw how stiff joints, sore muscles, and body aches kept too many people from enjoying life. Blue Stop works fast, absorbs quick, and smells great. No prescription, no waiting. It's on the shelf right now at Walmart. Feel the difference.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
Want weather? Grab your phone. Need traffic? Grab your phone. Conservative news and talk, also on your phone. Get the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. Welcome to the show. It's Wednesday. We wish it were Friday. It's not. We're close to Thursday, which is great. We need you. We need you to pump energy into the show this morning.
That's right. You get through today.
But
it's all downhill from here.
It is wide open from here on.
And I'm going to get a new phone.
Buddy.
Not a busted phone like what I got, or not like the busted phone you got. I'm going to get a new phone.
But no, mine's not busted. It's not busted. It's just, it's old and it only has 2 lenses. You're about to get like upgraded to the 3 lens thing.
I think
so you got an AP camera, and I just got a little old rinky dink.
I know.
You'll be able to see through walls with that thing.
That's right.
That's right.
You'll be able to detect heartbeats around the corner.
You'd be taking your own blood pressure.
That's right. I mean, they do so many wild things now, and every single time I go through a firmware update, I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is going to be the end here.
I know, like it just can't take it.
Like it just won't be able to handle it.
I can't do it. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I can't.
And just powers down.
Yeah, I've had it since 2016. Yeah. It's worked great. I like it.
Absolutely.
It's just not charging very well now.
Yeah, it's just, it just gets
It might
to that
just be time.
It's just time.
I waited almost a decade.
Yeah, it's good, man. That's a good run. Most people don't. Most people got to have the newest. And I used to be like that, 10, 15 years ago, where I wanted the newest technology. I wanted the newest gadgets, whatever. Now I couldn't care less. I don't know if it's the old man creeping in. Toby Keith used to sing, "Don't let the old man creep in." And I think I did when it comes to technology. I'm just like,
My first few photos on my phone are from September 9th, 2017 at Notre Dame.
Wow.
That's what's on my phone.
Yeah.
Like the first few photos.
Yeah.
That, and then the picture from, this is from Beer Fest, where it's the whole team.
What is Beer Fest?
We're not that drunk.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Yes, when they're in competition.
Got it. Do you ever accidentally snap a picture of your homepage? You know how you...
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I was looking through my wife's phone. She asked me, she was like, hey, can you, get something? And I got what she needed, told her about, and then I just opened the photos, right? Just because she's got pictures that I don't, and sometimes I'll ask her to send them to me, like a picture of our son playing ball or something. I'm like, hey, so I was thumbing through to see if there's anything. Every other picture on her phone is of her lock screen. Well, no, of the lock screen, just the desktop.
You know where that comes from, don't you?
I don't.
That's an alarm going off and reaching over and just
hitting,
yeah, that
there's
happens.
a lot of 345 screenshots on my photo album.
Yeah, I wondered if because I have one or two, but nothing like her. I mean, hers is like every other picture is her desktop of her phone.
Whole lot of snoozing going on.
Yeah, something's happening. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of funny. So Lo's going to get a new phone. That's great news.
Am I? We'll see.
Well, no, you got to, man. You are
determined.
You've committed. Let's march forward and get it done. And that way, when y'all go to volleyball and you have to split up, then one person's got the iPad that y'all use. You've got the new fancy
phone.
Yeah, fancy phone, and yours will be coming through in 4K, and the iPad won't. And
I've done that 4K, and it looks amazing. It's just they're so impossible to upload because they're so massive.
Big. Yeah,
so big.
Yeah.
Sucks that data right up.
Yeah, it
so
does.
All that too.
I mean, if you do 1080p and you record like a 30-minute match, it's 6 gig, not a problem.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Like it's a big file.
Yeah.
So
what do you just reduce down to 720? What do you do?
I will
try to make it.
I will typically do it in 720.
Yeah.
But I've done some matches at 1080p just to be like, okay, it's the finals, we'll do this one.
Yeah.
But not a lot because it's just hard to, it takes a while to pull them off the device and then to upload them to YouTube and to Huddle or wherever else, that's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Can you tell the biggest difference between all the 720, 1080, and then 4K? Can you tell like a giant difference?
So the human eye is not supposed to be able to determine.
I don't know that I can.
30 frames per second, 60 frames per second. I can. I think it just looks smoother.
Yeah.
I think if you know what to look for, you can see the difference.
On a big screen, you can tell the difference.
Yeah, larger screens definitely.
Like on your phone, probably not, right?
No, he's absolutely right. Like on a phone, no big deal.
No.
You're watching it on TV, you're going to know.
Yeah. Well, especially if you got a big old honking Bobo TV like Los
Los?
does. Yeah. Dude, Ron Goodbub, who works for Rich McCormick's office.
Shout out, Ron.
Yeah, Ron, I know he's listening. He may be running right now. I don't know. Because he only takes 30 minutes off from the show every day, and then he does that while he's taking phone calls while he's running, is what he tells me. And or told us, as a matter of fact, at the Kelvin King thing. He took Los's advice, got that big old, is it Hisense?
He got the Hisense.
Huge, like 80.
With the mini LED technology.
That's right.
And he got a Sonos speaker to attach to it.
Yeah.
He's like, game changer. I was like, yeah, it is, isn't it?
The man took both of our advice. I was so blown away by it. And
he told his wife, he's like, they were right. It is legit.
I'm telling you, man. It was just, it was so funny to see him.
Counting the blades of grass on the field at Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely right. Or if he's watching golf or something, good, you can count the grass as it comes up as a swing. You know,
he's like, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I was like,
amazing. We told you,
thank
man.
you.
We told you. We know things. And we're smart like that here on Extra 106.3, which is why you're here, I'm sure. The one thing we are not is like the left. We get things done, Los. The left, they can't.
This is so surprising. So this ends up being Katie Tur from MSNBC. And you can hear it in her voice. She's having a hard time understanding.
You hear the question marks.
Why this is going on in the Middle East and how it's associated to Donald Trump. And what I will tell you is this. She has the premise wrong. Take a listen.
I wonder on Donald Trump, what makes him so different? I've been trying to figure this out myself, and I wonder if it's just this, if it's the uneasiness of knowing that he might just walk away, and with it, the alliance that you might have believed was strong or immovable, that Donald Trump has that quality of unpredictability that makes his pressure in this region different? Is that it, or is it something else?
It's something else. What it is that generally politicians are incompetent.
Yeah, that's right.
You have
All of them.
You have a career politician in Joe Biden.
And Presbo, too.
And Kamala Harris, as a combination, who have no real big accomplishments in their life outside of attaining office. That's it. Barack Obama, by the time he was president, he wasn't even a senator for 2 years. He had no idea what he was doing. The book, The Amateur, you can go check it out. Like, you can go back and look at it and like, wow, what was this guy really good at doing? Dividing the American people.
And he was exceptionally good.
He was
at that.
a divider in chief. That was his job. He was a street hustler. He was a race baiter. That's what he was good at. Wasn't good at any of this stuff that's going on around the world. You know who's actually good at it? A guy who actually puts together multinational deals.
Like the one we just
the one
saw.
who might just happen to be in office right now. Yeah. So Katie Tur, it's the premise that's wrong, baby girl. You think the other people are competent. They're not.
I saw Barack Obama giving a interview on a podcast where he was talking about, we don't want a banana republic and all these things. And I kept thinking to myself, well, that's what you created. That's exactly what you were going for. And then when you were able to do it under Joe Biden's name, not your own, you helped create the most political prosecution that had ever happened in the history of the United States of America. And you know why I knew I didn't trust him? On top of everything else we know. Did you see the way he was sitting in that chair? Did you happen to see this video?
Yes, I did.
Did you? I mean, I've never seen a woman sit like that. He was all slinked in this chair, and his legs were all crossed like the way a woman would cross their legs, and his arms are all.
Was he being all dainty Obama?
Yes, and it was so weird, dude. I mean, I know what those letters that he wrote to his girlfriend that are housed down at Emory University said. Everything he said in those letters were on display as he sit in that chair. That's yeah.
So the race-baiting street hustler, allegedly gay, I mean, based off his letters.
Based off of what he said.
He's like the conglomerate of all the things that hate traditional American values and operated as he hated traditional American values. By the way, the book is Edward Klein, The Amateur. If you ever want to go back to that, that's from 13 years ago. That was during the height of his re-election campaign. And when you go through it and you read through it, you're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's like he knew how to agitate. He didn't know how to get stuff done. That is the false premise that Katie Tur from MSNBC and other people can't handle. Donald Trump is a deal maker. At the very least, whatever you think about him, the guy makes deals around the world. That's what he does.
And he'll tell you as much. He don't talk about what he's great at other than making deals. Like, I've never heard him talk about running marathons. I've never heard him talk about doing anything other than deal making.
Is he good at picking NCAA basketball games?
Don't know.
Probably not.
I've never heard him speak of it.
Is he great as an orator? Yeah. Is he gruff and does he say things that are inappropriate at times? Yeah.
Yes. Or has. I tell you, man, I've not heard him do that since Butler.
You know what I think he's really good at? Deal making.
And that's what he says he's good at. When asked, he was like, I can put a deal together. That's what I do. It's what I've always done. And it was so funny to listen to Katie Tur just searching for the words because she couldn't even put the sentence together. She was so bumfuzzled by the entirety of what had happened and in disbelief that the people that she thought were really good at what they do, turns out they're not. Turns out they weren't really good at anything.
By the way, can I read you just this when it comes to the amateur Edward Klein? So it points out, let's see, former editor-in-chief of the New York Times Magazine pulls back the curtain on one of the most secretive White Houses in history. It reveals a callow, thin-skinned, arrogant president with messianic dreams of grandeur, supported by a cast of true believers, all of them united by leftist policies and an amateurish understanding of executive leadership.
Nailed it.
13 years ago, when you read it, you're like, wow, this is spot on.
I would love to see him describe the way Obama was sitting in that chair. I would love to hear his description because he laid out the description so well of him.
This is also another part, why the so-called centrist Obama is actually in revolt against the values of society he was elected to lead.
Yeah, he hated American values.
Yes.
And always did. I mean, he was raised by two communists. His parents were communists.
His biggest influencers were communists.
Why do you think he felt the way he did?
And yet he won't go away. Like, just go away, dude.
Don't you see?
There's a dude sitting in a ranch in Crawford. He stays pretty quiet.
But he sees the left, at least in his eyes, the left being as vocal as they've ever been. And I mean the hard left being more vocal than they've ever been in the United States. He sees Antifa as a good thing. He sees burning cities down as a good thing. He sees the DSA, the Democrat Socialist of America, who are actually communists. They just call themselves the DSA. He sees them and the rise of that in New York City, and he's like, look, my plan is finally coming to fruition. That's what he sees with all this craziness. Now, American people reject that, just like they rejected Obama's policies. But he doesn't. He's like, this is our time. Maybe we can really overthrow this thing.
The guy was not good at international relations. The guy was not good at deal making when it came to working across the aisle. He had no intention of it. Or lining out different deals for situations around the world. You see the difference in leadership.
Without a doubt.
You see the difference in executive leadership. You know, one of the reasons why Ron DeSantis gets such a hard time, people are like, he's gruff. I'm like, he's a good leader.
Yeah, that's right.
He gets stuff done. And you can really tell the difference between this is a politician and this is somebody who gets stuff done.
I'll take the guy that gets stuff done.
There's skills there.
Every time.
There are skills there where, politics, to hell with it, let's get this thing done. And those are good leaders. And that's what you just had this week. Now, we'll see where it all goes, but like as we joked around, we're on step 7 of a 20-step process. I didn't think we'd get to step 7. All right?
We might not get much past it.
We'll see what happens from here. We're on step 6 and 7. I don't know how much further this peace deal is going to get, but there's no way we even get to step 1 without Donald Trump.
The Democrat Socialists of America, a.k.a. communists, they are condemning the ceasefire. They put out this statement. I don't know if you saw it, but it basically blasted the peace plan that Donald Trump has put together, saying they know Israel won't stick to all of their agreements in this 20-point plan, in this 20-step plan. So all of a sudden, the Free Palestine crowd has shown who they really are again. They don't want peace. They want whatever hands them power. And New York City's about to elect one of these clowns, about to make the mistake. Democrat, socialist, please hear me. That means communists. They all are. This group of people are basically praising what Hamas is doing right now, going around killing people. That's what's happening behind the scenes, and that's what's been happening since Monday. They don't care about peace because they're part of the death cult, just like Barack Obama, just like Joe Biden, just like everybody in Antifa and all these other organizations, Los. These people do not want peace in the Middle East. It damages what they're trying to accomplish.
Again, we talk about peace being great for markets. At a foundational level, these people don't want free markets. So anything,
they don't believe in them.
They don't believe in them. So anything that creates freedom around the world and free markets and a role for capitalism, against it, no matter what. They'd rather have death and destruction.
That's right.
Than actual capitalism.
And Neil Bortz, when you heard from him a little bit ago, he said, this real estate could be incredible. The Palestinian people could be living like the Saudis right now. If you've seen Riyadh, it looks like Tokyo. It looks like a world-class city. And that prince in Saudi Arabia, I'm not saying he's, clean as the wind-driven snow, but he recognizes economic power is a place that he wants to be and he wants his people to be. Those Democrat socialists want no part of it. They would rather see, much like you're saying, that Gaza is still in rubble versus being a resort town.
I was reading through one response from a Palestinian, and he talked about the mistakes that they made, that in 2005, the Israelis left them alone. They're like, here, it's your land. You do with it what you want. He's like, they could have built a resort. They could have hospitals and schools. He said, instead, they dug tunnels and made missiles. You could have turned it into a resort, and instead you dug tunnels and made missiles.
I don't know how backwards you have to be. These people.
It's a society of backwards people.
And wrong think.
Whenever Israel, they're committing genocide. What do you think you do with a bunch of backwards people?
Dude, they're committing genocide of their own people.
Yep.
Tell me about Israel and genocide.
You're not down for the cause. Now we have to shoot you after 2 years.
And will. They've shown you that they will. When we come back on Extra 106.3, just how many seats the Democrats could lose. We'll run the numbers for you next on Extra 106.3.
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Good morning. Let's talk about True Prep. First off, you got to check out their fall clearance over at True Prep. 1000 Cobb Parkway in Marietta, or you can go online, trueprep.com. That's truprep.com. Now, what's going on with the fall clearance? Up to 66% off some of the items in the store. And you can check the inventory on a regular basis. They keep it up to date every single day. You can go to trueprep.com. You'll have right there on their right side of the page, you have a used guns and gear section. You also have their sales and clearance items so that you know what's in store. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to True Prep, it's very easy. Just be ready. That's all. Now, what are you getting ready for? Well, I mean, your ready might be different from my ready. I like making sure that I have emergency supplies available for anything that can possibly happen. Maybe you're an outdoor enthusiast and your ready's different. Maybe you're into home protection. You want to make sure that you and yours don't have to worry about some of the craziness that's going on in this world. Well, they've got the guns and ammunition at great prices to take care of that as well, even when you're out and about. Again, go to trueprep.com. That's truprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
Don't just ride apart from the crowd, travel above it. The spacious, sumptuous 7-seat GLS SUV wraps thoughtful innovations in ruggedly elegant style and refined luxury. It's chiseled and muscular, yet polished and agile from its bold grille to its LED tail lamps. Get an exceptional offer on the 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLS 450 4MATIC SUV. Just $929 per month for 36 months with $87.33 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models during the RBM of Atlanta's fall sales event, now through October 31st. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through October 31st, 2025. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia lemon law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit us at rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Time now for the Retire Wise Report. James Parker here with financial advisor Sean Maloney, founder and CEO of Retire Wise. The big question for many of our listeners as they approach retirement is, will I be okay in retirement? Sean, how do you help someone figure out if they've saved enough to be comfortable?
Great question. There's a lot of different aspects to this, but the biggest thing is looking at risk. Look, there's a lot of different risks to your money, like market risk, there's healthcare costs, inflation, and taxes. All those need to be accounted for. Many people worry if they've saved enough. Am I going to outlive my money? Strategies to help preserve your wealth can be more important than the dollar amount that you saved. Get an analysis of your situation to help you get that clarity that you need.
Tell us about the offer you have for listeners.
If you're worried about if you'll be okay for retirement, you probably don't have a plan. You might not even know what I mean when I'm talking about, do you have a retirement plan? Well, we have a great resource for you guys. We have what's called the Retire Happy Framework Toolkit, and you can get that by calling or texting WISE to 770-802-2200. My team helped me put this thing together just for you, and it's a complimentary guide. And the center of this is a copy of my latest book, The Priority of Retirement. It has chapters from everything from investments to Social Security, income planning, and has other guides that go along with it as well, with some checklists in regards to all those different strategies and topics as well. So if you want to get that information in your hands today, call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. That's 770-802-2200.
Take advantage of this offer. Get your Retire Happy Framework today. Like Sean said, just text WISE to 770-802-2200. The team at Retire Wise will get you your Retire Happy Framework right away. So just call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. Investment advisory services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Wednesday, October 15th. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport has refused to air a DHS video featuring Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The video blames Democrats for the ongoing government shutdown. Airport officials say they aim to maintain a neutral environment. While the video has been rolled out nationwide, several other airports, including Portland and Phoenix, have chosen not to display it. Early voting is underway across Georgia for the November 4th municipal races and 2 public service commission seats. The seats in Districts 2 and 3 are up for election after years of delay, with Republican incumbents Tim Echols and Fitz Johnson facing challenges from Democrats. Early voting ends on October 31st. And country singer Jay Allen is paying a visit to an Ackworth senior living facility for a live performance. His Living Gracefully tour aims to shine a spotlight on Alzheimer's and dementia. He'll be performing at Celebration Village in Ackworth tomorrow night. Today's weather, another beautiful fall day. Clear and sunny with highs in the lower 80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. We are going to run the numbers for you here on Extra. You got this thing queued up for me? Let me see it. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Fams, come on, baby. We're going to add it up. There's nobody better in this building to do numbers for you than Front Office Los. We have pulled him away from doing numbers on the sports side. They try to lure him back in.
Stuff that doesn't matter.
Stuff that just doesn't matter.
Your salary cap is silly.
That's right. And if you don't understand it by now, I can't help
Your collective bargaining agreement, I don't care about that.
Nothing there.
I care about losing seats in the House.
Because it does. That matters. That affects us. So that's why when we can run numbers with Front Office Los, we love to do that. And the Dems are in a bad way, Los, because of this redistricting. And they tried to counterbalance it with their own. It didn't work.
You remember the movie Scream from the 90s?
Yes, of course, with the crazy ghost face.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Right. Like it's there to like freak you out. Like, oh, that's scary. Another teen slasher.
Yeah.
All right, CNN did the same thing for their audience.
They did a teen slasher movie?
They gave them the teen slasher movie. They gave them let me scare you. Let me scare you straight. Let me tell you what's going on. So you're going to listen to a piece of audio, and it's a really clear breakdown, in my opinion, of here are the states that are redistricting. And the way CNN is looking at it is, yeah, there's not a whole lot of way to stop these people if they decide to do this. Like North Carolina, redistricting, going to pick up more seats. Florida, redistricting, picking up more seats. Texas already
even
done.
More red.
Right. Texas already redistricted. So as much as California can look over and say, hey, we've got it on the ballot. We're going to see about redistricting. Maybe it's 5 seats. Maybe. Everybody else is already playing this role. And when they look at the blue states like Illinois, like, are you kidding? This thing is already gerrymandered to the hilt. We can't do anything more to this thing.
That's right.
It's like, come on, man. Take a listen.
Actually represents pretty accurately, mathematically, how the country is divided over the question of the presidency. But if you look at this is what the party pickups would be for congressional districts. Republicans, 5. Missouri, 1. North Carolina, 1. Ohio, 2 or 3. Indiana, 1 or 2. Florida, still discussion down there, but that could be another gold mine for them if they tipped it even further their way. Kansas 1, New Hampshire 1, and Nebraska. Democrats, Utah, California, Maryland. Look at this. If you offset California and Texas, Missouri and Utah, North Carolina and Maryland, everything left over is an advantage to the Republicans. And don't forget, the Supreme Court is considering what could really be the end of the Voting Rights Act, which would protect minority groups. So you don't have a state that's half black, for example, that elects only 1 congressional member and everybody else goes to the Republicans that would represent that population in some ways. So if that is gutted, Democrats could lose 19 seats. This would be a huge amount.
Buddy, 19 seats. And the other thing, can I just point out quickly, don't you love how that guy on CNN was like, oh, well, it's going to be all Republicans and the one black guy that's representing. And
right.
I'm like, how do you know that black man is going to vote for the Democrats? But there are black people walking away from the Democrat Party daily. But that's the way they think.
I left it in because of the assumption.
It's just so absurd.
It was the assumption of, well, there's no way they'll ever vote Republican.
Okay.
There's a reason why you've turned your back on them.
Hey, okay.
All right? Like the Democrats, for years, the Democrats have always taken the black population for granted. I think Stephen A. Smith was one of the first people that I've heard who has a national platform who's like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we serious? Like, this is how you're playing this game?
But
so CNN just continues the same deal. To know that you typically have about a 97% chance of voting Democrat. Well, now that that's dropping, now that let's say it falls to 85%, well, you don't win elections with 85% of the black vote. You have to have 90 plus. That's part of the reason why they're turning on the black community. And so to hear them talk about how you lose up to 19 seats, hey, let's see what comes out of the Supreme Court as well. Because if birthright citizenship goes out the way,
dude, they are screwed.
Because that census will be right behind it.
The most dangerous job.
And now it's no longer just about redistricting. It's about actually counting what it's supposed to be, the actual numbers. So remember, the Republican Party actually lost out of the 2020 census. The blue states were overcounted, the red states were not. I mean, it's now documented.
Yeah,
the proof is out there. Now, was it a ton of seats? No.
But if it's one, it's too many.
Exactly. But if we're talking about a couple seats here and there, what happens if the numbers are so wildly skewed that it actually isn't 19? What if it's 29?
They will never be elected again. Outside of the major blue hubs, California, Illinois, New York.
What if it's not 19? What if it's 25? You know, this is the area. Again, I told you it was the movie Scream. That was meant to be fear porn for the CNN watcher. Like, what if they get 19 over seats? Well,
and then the CNN viewer, my sweet Aunt Peg, sitting on the edge of her seat, just waiting. I can't wait to get more. Give me more.
Scare
Give
me more.
something.
Scare me more.
That's exactly right. This is better than Scream. It's better than a horror movie because it's real life. And I'm so horrified, I'm going to stay with you. I might flip over when you're on commercial to go to MSNBC to get a download there too, but I'm staying here.
To get a download. I need to know what to think. I need to know what to think today.
Because what happens if Tug comes over and says something?
I got to know what to say to him.
I got to know the response.
I got to know exactly what to say.
The correct response. I got to know the correct response, at least from their point of view.
I got to have the ammunition in order to be able to say what I need to say to him, because what if he tells me that Donald Trump was able to help facilitate peace around the world? I got to know what to say.
Yeah. Well,
and I need something newer than January 6th.
That's right, because that one is tired and flimsy. The fact that they celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder more than they celebrated the peace plan, and the fact that you're on step 7 tells you everything you need to know about these people. It's sad. I take no joy in my Aunt Peg being so clouded and convoluted that she can't think for herself, because she is a wonderful lady. But when it comes to politics, she becomes a vulture. It's unbelievable how quickly the switch flips to, hi, let me get you a piece of pie, to, I want to cut your arm off. I want to come at you like a spider monkey.
My mother said this one time. She went at my spirit animal. I was like,
MTG.
I was like, Marjorie Taylor Greene, we just talked to her, and she's like, I don't like that woman. And
Peg always brings up.
Of course.
Always.
And my first response to her was, so you don't like somebody who tells you like it is?
I don't want to know the truth.
Imagine that you're so comfortable in your politics, in your bubble, in being basically fed just crap on a regular basis, that when somebody tells it like it is, that's the one you don't like?
Yeah. Well, but that's so common. People hate hearing the truth, especially if it's in opposition to what they believe or are doing.
435 people in Congress. Most of them aren't telling you like it is.
Yeah, ever.
So when they do, that's the one you don't like?
Yes. Speaker Mike Johnson, he laid out the list of demands to end the government shutdown. He's telling you like it is, too. Very mild-mannered man from Louisiana, but his list is extensive. This is what the Democrats want to open back up the government. Something tells me that you're going to say, keep it shut down.
And they would send $500 million to liberal news outlets by refunding the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. It would also restore up to $5 billion of American taxpayer funds for wasteful spending for international projects. Here's a couple of examples. This is in their legislation, their counterproposal on the CR to keep the lights open. This is what they want to do. They want to spend $24.6 million of your hard-earned dollars as a taxpayer for climate resilience in Honduras. They want to spend $13.4 million for civic engagement in Zimbabwe. They want to send $3.9 million for LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Western Balkans. They want to spend $2.9 million of your dollars for desert locust risk reduction in the Horn of Africa. And $2 million for, quote, organizing for feminist democratic principles in Africa. We are not doing that.
Yeah, I like when he said, we're not, just keep it closed. We'll just keep it closed down. If you're willing to sacrifice over things like that, just keep it closed down. I'm glad he said it, and I'm glad the Republicans are standing their ground.
I really enjoy that Mike Renz had a really good point about this. The guy who was formerly working in the Donald Trump administration and who's been at the forefront of telling you what was going on with USAID. He flat out pointed out, he took that video and said, this is USAID sort of stuff. That money is not going to Rwanda. It's not going to Pakistan. It's not going to any of the places that it says it's going to.
Africa.
That money is going straight into Democrat coffers. All that money's doing is to run their campaigns. It's not heading to trans studies in South America or, study of elephant farts in Africa. None of it. It's strictly going to go to the boondoggle. It's going to get clean. It's going to show up back in Democrat hands, and then they're going to use it to try and win elections and to try and be subversive against the will of the country.
So when they tell you that they care about health care prices, do not fall for it. It's nothing to do with that because they don't care about that. They've proven they don't care about that when they enacted the ACA. When they put Obamacare in motion, they knew your prices were going to go up. They knew that it was going to fail. It was deemed a thing that they wanted to accomplish, to get to a single-payer healthcare system. But that's what they use.
I'm curious because, now that we've seen this victory from Donald Trump, now that I told you he's going to have the political capital to go any direction that he wants, and we'll see what happens with the Supreme Court, and then we'll see what the reaction is from there. But this administration has always made it a point to be several steps ahead. When they start going down a road, you're like, oh, what is that? Like, is it?
And then when you get to the pass, you're like, oh.
It's like, oh, now I get what they're doing. Oh, I see what the play is. I wonder, and this is where maybe we need to talk with some of our contacts within, the whole DC bubble. I wonder what is the next play. Like, is it going after Obamacare? Like, what is that next big move? Because they have the capital to do it.
I would love for that to be the case, but I've seen no evidence that they have a plan. Maybe they've been working on it since. Because remember in the debate, that was the only time Trump stumbled a little bit when they said, okay, you get rid of Obamacare, what would you replace it with? And he didn't have a good answer. That don't mean he's not been working on it since then. That don't mean there's nothing that's there. That's my only concern. That's the one thing that stands out to me is I don't know what you're doing because I've never heard them address it.
I just wonder what's next.
Yeah.
I know that they're trying to get the Ukrainian-Russian war over with. All right. They've got another meeting that's coming up here, I think, on Friday.
The Chinese is not going to allow that to happen. In my opinion, the Chinese need that to happen. They need that war to drag on, and then that way we can't put our focus on them.
But that also has to do with the tariff policy as well.
Sure.
This is what's going to be visited upon you until you start complying with what we want to have happen. So you're using the economic pressure. I just wonder domestically, what is that next big move that's coming? Because we've now seen, and it's been successful, when you roll in the National Guard into D.C., still to this day, people are like, this is great here.
Memphis, too.
No one's talking about it, what's happened in Memphis. Memphis are like, we can actually play on the streets. People can walk to school. People can walk to the grocery stores.
Lady said, I've had this house in Memphis for 5 years. This is the first time while owning my home that my kids have been able to play outside. Yeah. I've not heard a gunshot. I've not been scared for them to be outside because of a stray bullet. Imagine living in that, dude.
The amount of black people who have posted, here's what it's like now in Memphis. Thank you, Donald Trump. It's the reason why you haven't heard about it. It's the reason why it's not on the news. That's the reason why you haven't heard one word about it. It's because it is so damning to the other side. So I do wonder, are you going to roll stuff into Chicago or Portland, or are we going to go after healthcare? Like, what is that next big move? Because it's coming.
Maybe.
It's not going to be spending money in these crazy places.
Do you think, and this is me speculating a little bit, because we heard yesterday, and we've been hearing this for a while, that the cartels have hits on American politicians. They're trying to get those street thugs to take them up, and there's different amounts for different people. Like if you beat up an ICE officer, it's whatever the amount is. Let's say $1,000. And then if you take somebody out, it's $20,000 or more, whatever it is. You see the way that those people are working with Antifa. Could there be something because of that conspiracy? Then there's a reason to march in the National Guard.
Well, Tug, I mean, that's a problem. Antifa doesn't really exist. It's not an organization with any sort of central leadership.
You're exactly right. I guess I'm wrong.
Antifa's just an idea, Tug.
That's right. I guess
it's not an actual group of people that are organized in order to cause trouble.
That's right. Exactly. So, I'm probably way off base then.
It's like chasing the Easter Bunny, I guess.
That's right. When we continue on Extra 106.3, CNN suggested you'd be better off as a hostage. What? This is unbelievable. Some of the things that they say on CNN are absolutely unbelievable. If you did not hear this, you have to next. This is the Morning Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, October 15th. From the Major League Baseball playoffs, the LA Dodgers are now up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Brewers after a win last night, 5-1 the final. The Dodgers now head home for Game 3 tomorrow night. On the American League side, with their championship series, that continues tonight from Seattle as the Mariners lead the Toronto Blue Jays 2-0. That game will start at 8:08 tonight. Week 7 in the NFL begins tomorrow night. The Cincinnati Bengals host the Pittsburgh Steelers in an AFC North matchup. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Big moments deserve big-time craftsmanship. At Solomon Brothers Jewelers, we've been family-owned and operated since 1982 because we know what it means to show up when it counts. Jaron Solomon here, and that's why we're proud to be an official Tacori jeweler. Each Tacori ring is handcrafted in California, going through 20 elite artisans before it hits your hands. Not mass-produced, not generic, always personal. And with Solomon Brothers, you get lifetime cleanings, unbeatable financing, and the largest Tacori selection in Georgia. Stop by a store in Buckhead, Alpharetta, or Sharpsburg. Visit SolomonBrothers.com to book your private appointment. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, where love is in the details and legends are built to last. Solomon Brothers Jewelers, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs and official jeweler of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards, so you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like St. Benedict's Episcopal School.
I'm Father Brian Sullivan, head of school at St. B's in Smyrna. We welcome students preschool through 8th grade into a diverse and inclusive community. With small classes and personalized learning, we focus on the whole child academically, socially, and emotionally. Beyond the classroom, our students thrive in arts, clubs, mini athletics, and community service. We're proud to offer Spanish as a core curriculum, and we are a STEM certified school, preparing graduates for success in high school and beyond. Applications are now open. Learn more at stbs.org.
Thanks, Father Brian. Friends, check out this community treasure. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all three are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement, and your future. Hi, this is Glenn Beck. The only financial advisory firm I recommend in Atlanta is Nicholas Wealth Management. David Nicholas and his team believe protecting your money is about more than wealth. It's about defending your faith, your family, and your freedom. If your hard-earned retirement is left exposed to market chaos, higher taxes, or inflation, what happens to the life you've worked so hard to build? For over 20 years, David Nicholas has helped families right here in Atlanta fight back with retirement strategies built to better withstand uncertainty. Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 404-890-5606, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Aim to safeguard your future today.
Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm that uses a variety of different investment strategies.
Hey, Atlanta
Atlanta Braves fans, this is Kelly Kroll asking you to step up to the plate for the men and women who have served our country and protected our freedom. The Warrior Alliance, an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, is helping thousands of veterans to achieve success after military service. Either you or someone you know has served and deserves our support. The best way to say thank you for your service is by helping a veteran round the bases on their journey home. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3, Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station.
Don't tell me the net worth of some corporate CEO. Tell me the net worth of the people he hired, the people who worked for him, the people that helped him build that wealth. There, I think, is the true worth of an entrepreneur.
Atlanta Talk radio legends are only on Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3.
I don't mean to freak you out at all.
Well, no, it's just that my son. So Los was talking about dividing and conquering with two daughters and volleyball and being very active, which is great.
I got to go get the high schooler. There's a team meeting this evening that my wife has to go to, so we're having to kind of split how we're doing this.
And I told him, my son, who's 21, junior in college, he's always brought up, I'd have been a good big brother, don't you? And, you feel bad. You're like, yeah, I know you would, man. You've been great. But this is not something that's died off. He brought it up to my wife in the last 3 or 4 months. I'd have been a great big brother, don't you? Like, he does not, that's, sit with him. That's not going away. He's going to carry that the rest of his life. That's one of those things that, that I guess you just live with or you deal with. And I don't think he's angry about it, but it crosses his mind with relative frequency.
I would like for him to take that baby fever and just put it in a jar and say, we'll see this down the road.
Yeah, that's right.
Just put it in a jar, put it underneath the bed, and be like, I will revisit you down the road.
I'm going to take this out of this jar, and let me tell you, I'm going to have the Brady Bunch. We're gonna have so many grandkids that we're gonna have to go. We'll have to have a car service. It'll look like just a carnival trying to pick them all
So
up.
I think about the cycle. And this is the wild part about life as you get older, and then in my mind I'm going, oh my God. So my daughter is now 15 years away from when she was conceived. That's not that long.
No, of course it's not.
So to think that if she goes down a similar path and gets married and decides to have a family, who knows? Maybe she gets after it sooner than that. Maybe your son gets after it sooner than that.
We're 6 away. We're 6 years away.
That's where you start to go okay.
I was 27. He's 20. He's 21.
21, yeah. So maybe it's just 6 years. Maybe he decides he graduates, he's in grad school, he gets married, and at 26 years old, here we go. That's 5 years.
Yeah, tough,
that starts to kind of mess with your mind.
It does.
Tap all Tug.
Yeah, dude. Which I can't wait to be that.
It's I want you to live that life. It's a great life.
It is, man. There's nothing. I want you to get everything you want done now that you can't do when you have kids. Can't's not the right word.
It's just harder.
It's
it
just
really
harder.
is.
Yeah,
it really is.
Because you've got to take your focus off of you and put it on child.
I don't play golf the way I used to.
Right.
I certainly don't play. I loved playing Atlanta Men's League Baseball. That was so much fun every single Sunday to get together with the guys. The time commitment now to basically be gone for about 7 hours between a 9-inning ball game, you're there an hour early. It probably takes about an hour to get home. We also were really big on going to get beers afterwards.
Of course.
I just can't commit 8 hours to that sort of stuff anymore.
Dude, can I give you one more just little nugget to add to the struggle that I'm having? That with him being 6 years away from Los's example.
I thought you were going to admit to something new that you decided.
No.
Tug was going to be like, I'm trans.
Ever since I saw that AI art of
I went trans.
The Alvin costume.
The Alvin costume. All I think about
my mind.
All I think about is my wife in an Alvin furry costume.
I ordered 2 on Amazon. One for me and one for her. No, it's worse than that. My son told his mama, I think she's the one. Like that's been stated out loud now.
Okay.
So That weighs heavy. And
What a good thing, though.
No, it
Yeah.
is. It's great. It's great. I'm just not right. I'm not ready for it. I would like things to slow down just a little bit.
In a target-rich environment, he was like, "That's the girl." I'm like, cool. Okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know. It's and my wife teases me about it.
This
'cause I'm not
follows
ready
with the whole trend of everything with Charlie Kirk and
Oh,
what
I
he
know.
preached.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Meet a
And
girl,
he
get
loved-
married young, have kids.
Have
all the
more
things
kids than you can afford. That's what he said. You know.
I was like 24, 23, 24 when I was like, I think I should probably try and marry this girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's what it was.
Yeah. So they're 21 now. They've not talked. He talks to Laura much more than he talks to me about those things. It's got to be the best day or the worst day. That's the only time he talks to me.
Dad, I need the car keys.
Yeah. Or Dad,
See you later. Can I have them, please?
That's right. It's cast in the cradle. My heart's breaking as we speak. If he hits 2 home runs, he's calling me.
Yeah.
If he wrecks the car, he's calling me. Anything in between that, he's calling his mama. So I don't think that they've set anything into motion per se, but he's just said that to her because they both want to get their masters done. They both have plans. So I don't know. I don't think either one of them are going to jeopardize those plans.
Yes, but
human nature sometimes is a strong and powerful thing.
It's encouraging, and I hope that when he continues his baseball path, and then once that path is concluded, I really hope that leads him back over with his master's degree at back over to College of Charleston or wherever.
Sure. Yeah.
And so at that point, it's all right, knock out what you're going to, and if you know kind of the path that you both want in this life, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It's just coming real fast. It seems that it's like blinding light, coming at you. It just comes really.
It's like Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas." Like I know it's on the way.
That's right.
I know I'm like 1 month before I'm going to get hammered with the song that just wears my ass out.
And you're da 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 trying to block it out.
I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, man,
71 days. By
November 15th is going to be here before you know it, and that's when it'll start.
I bet it starts before that, man. There will be a radio station in town
that'll start playing Christmas music
November
in
1st
a
or
week.
Something. Yeah, yes, probably. No question, the day after Thanksgiving, November 1st. There's not a doubt in my mind that that'll happen.
I love Christmas. I am Ebenezer Scrooge when it comes to Christmas music. I can't stand most of it.
I was that way forever and ever and ever. My wife, because I listen to so much music and she listens to a whole bunch of stuff that she don't necessarily like and she doesn't complain. In the last 3 or 4 years, I've gotten better. I don't complain. I don't enjoy it. I just don't let her know I don't enjoy it. I don't complain about it.
If I have to hear Paul McCartney do another Christmas song,
that's the only one that gets me. That's the only one.
It's like jump off a building. tie a grenade to my head, please.
Back over me with your car.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas. No,
I will not. I will not.
And
Paul
I love
McCartney.
Christmas.
Yeah,
love Christmas. Don't like Christmas music.
Yeah.
Now, I can do a little. I can get away with Alabama Christmas.
Christmas in Dixie's great. It's
Christmas
my favorite.
in Dixie.
I can hear that 100 times, never get tired of it.
I can listen to a little bit of Thistle Hair, and if you want to drop in a little bit of NSYNC Christmas album, I will deal with it for the time being.
NSYNC, I wouldn't have seen that one coming. I can't get on board with that one.
I can't handle most of it.
Yeah, I like the songs that they'll sing in church, like Silent Night. I do love that. Carrie Underwood singing Silent Night's great. There's those faith-based ones. Those are very pretty. But it's all the
I like Christmas Eve with that.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
No, it's the
I love driving around, going to look at Christmas lights, and playing that sort of stuff. But not Paul McCartney.
No.
And listen, I think Sir Paul is pretty awesome.
No, he is. He's a great. But
he's an amazing talent.
I'm with you. There's so many of those that I'm just so tired of. By November 2nd.
I'm sparing you right now because I've got All I Want for Christmas pulled up.
Yeah, you don't need to do it.
I just listened to the intro in my ear, and now I'm excited. I want to hear the rest.
No, not at all.
That is a jam.
I thought it was going to beat you down too.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
So you're a Christmas music guy?
Sure. It doesn't bother me, but that particular song, I got no beef with that.
Telling you.
All I Want for Christmas?
It's in my rear view.
It's
a good one.
Just like your son getting ready to get this part of his life going. I'm like, it's in my rear view. It's right there. I'm like, it's closer than it appears.
Yeah, I don't want it. I don't want it. Yeah, I'm
mind your P's and Q's. I might load that thing up for the rest of the show. I'm going to spring it on you.
Sir, it is October 15th. You're not even close.
Yeah. Although, if you walk into like a Lowe's or Home Depot,
they got a loaded gun.
They got the Christmas stuff already. Oh. When we continue, Hamas is already trying to break the ceasefire. Trump is putting his foot down over it. We'll talk about that next. I want to get into this better off as a hostage thing. You will not believe what they said. It's really unbelievable that anybody would even consider saying it, much less actually saying it. Next on the Morning Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
If ever there was a vivid example of left-wing, liberal, mindless dementia, it would be Mike Lukovich, Atlanta Journal-Constitution editorial cartoonist. Talk about lightweight. But my goodness, he's been around for decades. Unexplainable. Anyway, a cartoon he had on the 12th. The title is The Enemies Within, and it's a picture of Donald Trump. And in Donald Trump's hair, you have pictures of the enemies within, according to Mike Lukovich. Let me tell you who they are. RFK Jr., Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, the Vice President, Kristi Noem, Homeland Security, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, Steve Miller, Presidential Advisor, John Roberts, Chief Supreme Court Justice, all of them labeled by Mike Lukovich as enemies, more particularly the enemies within. Of what? Well, the United States. Oh, wait, I forgot one. Vladimir Putin. He's in there, too. Now, left-wing violence has become a thing. Brain-dead liberals are saying that if they disagree with you, that gives them a legitimate reason to take violent actions against you. Look at all of the people that Mike Lukovich has put in the crosshairs with his The Enemies Within cartoon in the AJC. Guarantee you, if some conservative listed a bunch of liberal meatheads and called them enemies, you'd hear a lot more about it, as you should. Mike Lukovich needs to go away with the printed version of the AJC. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Got a to-do list a mile long? No problem. We've got the ultimate solution, our Handyman for a Day program. Here's how it works. You get a skilled handyman dedicated to knocking out your honey-do list. Paint touch-ups, drywall repairs, door adjustments, and much more, all done in one day. Call us now before the rush for your Handyman for a Day and call us at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, The Trusted Toolbox.
Life is unpredictable, but when trouble comes, you need a team you can trust. At Ace Second Chance Bail Bonds, we've been helping families for nearly 20 years, providing fast, professional, and discreet service. With 12 locations across Metro Atlanta and Birmingham, we're available 24/7 to get your loved one home, quick and with care. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT, that's 404-BAIL-OUT, or visit atlbail.com today.
You know, I'm sick and tired of this crap. You know, don't poke the bear unless you expect to get eaten. What's the matter with you? It's about time we did something real.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Keep complying with the Gaza ceasefire agreement. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
They will disarm, and if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently.
violently.
President Trump issued that warning to lay down their weapons as Israel still awaits more dead hostage remains. Hamas is obligated to return.
The bodies of 3 additional hostages were released by Hamas. The total that remain inside Gaza stands at 21.
Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv.
There's also an incredibly dangerous environment for Palestinian civilians as Hamas has executed a number of people accused of stealing aid and working with Israel.
As Russia keeps waging war in Ukraine and the U.S. keeps considering sending advanced Tomahawk missiles to help Ukraine in the fight, Russia says that would be a serious escalation. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth is at NATO headquarters in Brussels before President Trump's Friday meeting with Ukraine's President Zelensky.
Secretary Hegseth told reporters he expects other nations to invest more in a new arms initiative.
You get peace when you are strong, not when you use strong words or wag your finger. You get it when you have strong and real capabilities that adversaries respect.
The initiative is called PEARL, the Prioritized Ukraine Requirements List. It allows Ukraine to request American weapons and get them delivered fast.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. There have been more clashes over immigration raids in Chicago. Protesters threw rocks at agents who used tear gas on them, while in Los Angeles County, California, a state of emergency declared.
Calling for more state and federal assistance. That can open up everything from rent relief to legal aid as immigration enforcement actions continue. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, responded saying this: the only state of emergency is the one that residents of Los Angeles face after electing officials who give a middle finger to the law.
Fox's Doug Luzader. The Supreme Court will take up a voting rights case this morning, considering for a second time congressional redistricting in Louisiana. America's listening to Fox News.
I used to stand in the paint aisle staring at all those products and wondering which one actually worked. I wasted so much money on things that didn't help. Then I tried Blue Stop, and let me tell you, it works. It soothes my sore joints and stiff muscles fast, absorbs quickly, and even smells great. Millions of people already trust Blue Stop, and now I do too. No prescription, no waiting. It's on the shelf right now at Walmart. If you want real relief, choose Blue Stop and feel the difference. Blue Stop at Walmart today.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
You may know Bortz is back, but not everyone else does. Tell anyone who loves America, Bortz is back on the radio in Atlanta, and his new home is Extra 106.3. Listen to him now on the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Xtra. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms.
Everything he said there is true.
That's right. And I'll add,
for now,
this is the one song that I never get tired of hearing. It doesn't matter when it's on. I've never skipped this song, ever, that I can remember.
There's not a whole lot of Stone Temple Pilots that's a tune-out for me.
I love that band. I think they're crazy underrated for the time that and what they were able to do.
The only issue I've run into is that once you had the death in the band, and then I think it was the former Linkin Park singer who
Chester Bennington.
who has since passed on as well. So he stepped into the role, and so my daughter thought Stone Temple Pilots was him with the rest of the band, and I was like, no, we have a different time here.
Yes, right. And look, Chester did a good job. I thought
he's great, talented,
so incredibly talented. But there was nothing like Scott Weiland, dude. That dude was freaking
Scott Weiland. You ever see him fill in for Jim Morrison with the original members of the Doors?
Did a great job there.
He went so hard. Like they actually found cocaine in his system when he was dead. Like, died, and he went out in such rock and roll fashion, like tour bus, on cocaine. Body finally was like, that's about enough, Scott.
Yeah, we can't continue like this. Yeah, that dude, I'm with Los, so underrated. I never skip Stone Temple Pilots. I could listen to that band nonstop. I've always said Pearl Jam is my favorite band. There's plenty of Pearl Jam songs I skip. I don't know that there's one from Stone Temple Pilots. So maybe I'm...
Ooh. We all have a chance to outlive Scott Weiland. He was 48.
Oh, so I'm 48.
Tony, his heart was like, that's enough.
I've already aced him. I've already beaten him.
I don't know that this is true, but I've read it somewhere, so maybe, but I believe he wrote Interstate Love Song on 75. Like either 75 or 85.
I know they have a strong connection to Atlanta. They, if I'm not mistaken, they were recorded number 4 here in town because it's got the song Atlanta on there. Yeah, there's definitely Brendan O'Brien, who's a big, a huge producer, produced a bunch of their stuff here in town. There are so many records that were recorded here that most people have no idea, and a lot of those studios are gone. Crazy enough, but
that's interesting reading about the background on that entire song. Part of it is him trying to conceal the fact that he ain't clean.
Yes,
on the road with the band,
dude. And they tried to help him. The DeLeo brothers, who were in that band with him, they tried to help. They tried so hard to help him, so much so that if you recall, they kicked him out of the band.
Yeah,
they're like, "You're out. You have to get well. You're not well." And they were concerned about him more than touring and recording and making music and. Yeah, man, unbelievable. And now they have a...
Because that's where you got Velvet Revolver.
Yeah, that's right. When he went over and worked with Slash.
It was, all right, you're out of here. And now they got to figure out something different. And then, all right, we're back together.
That's right.
And he's back on drugs.
And then it was short-lived. And my wife and I got to see them the last time they played here in town before his passing. And they were unbelievable. Dude was a once-in-a-generation, maybe once-in-a-lifetime talent in Scott Weiland. Better news, Outkast going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I'll take that.
Super cool. Can't complain about that one.
Can I go ahead and point out the old man argument and just let it be?
I mean, you can.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a Hall of Fame for all of music, and all origins go back to bluegrass and rock and roll. Everything derives from that, so... When you're like, it's not rock and roll, it's all rock and roll, man.
It absolutely is.
Okay, there we go. There was the quick thing to get through.
We acknowledged it. We acknowledged that somebody's going to have that argument. I'm 100% with you on that.
I'm sorry. I'm acknowledging musical genius.
And that's what we want to do.
That is what those two gentlemen are.
Yes,
they are lyrically and musically brilliant.
One of my first favorite hip-hop acts, Outkast. And when I first kind of stumbled on them, and I'm sure I was late to the game, but I was like, and they're from Atlanta? Dude, I'm in.
Because you can ask other artists about this. Like, all right, give me the people that, when it comes to how they flow, what they say, what they put together, it was like, give me some of the best rap artists of all time. And consistently, Andre 3000 is always in there.
Impossible for him not to be. Incredibly talented.
It's like, that's
so
what
awesome.
he does.
I mean,
other rap artists are like, that dude.
That's the guy. That's
one of the guys.
He's got the rhythm and the flow and all of that, but he's also the thinking man's
yes.
hip-hop act.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
it takes a minute where you're like, okay.
Oh, I got you.
All right. Yeah.
And then Big Boy's so cool. He's got lines cooler than a polar bear's toenails. Cooler than Freddie Jackson sipping a milkshake in a snowstorm.
Yeah, that's right.
That's just cool, man.
Lend me some sugar. I am your neighbor.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite lines.
So Speakerboxx Love Below, and this is when you start thinking about how old this stuff was. That's like 03, 04.
Oh, yeah.
It's been 20 years since that album came out, and
it's still just as much like Stone Temple Pilots Plus. It still never makes me want to flip the channel.
Yep.
Never, never, never. I never hit skip when that one rolls up.
Roses
so good.
really smell like ooh, ooh, ooh.
I mean, I started off with ghetto music, and I'm like, all right, we're off and for running now.
I like
it's like,
this.
here we go. This is going to be fun for about the next hour.
I have found a home. No, that's exactly right. That's why I love music the way I do, man.
I found my Outkast bobblehead. It's still in the box. Which,
Dude,
that was the
I gotta
biggest,
buy that from you.
Biggest regular season crowd, I think,
Is
in
that one
Truist
still in the
history.
chopping block? Because I want to buy that one.
So I've got that, and I've got the Outkast reunion show poster.
Oh,
we're gonna have to have a contest. It's gonna be either win or
just
win
let me
Jerry's
buy it from you.
contest, or win Jerry's stuff, or swap shop over here.
Swap shop would be a good idea. You're going to get a tractor out of this. Somebody's going to get you a Traeger grill, Jerry. You're going to get all the Zen points you want. It's like, I want that.
Got an Outkast bobblehead and a concert poster.
Dude, that's so cool.
September 23rd, 2003.
Yeah, dude.
That's when Speakerboxx Love Below was released.
The way you move. So good. Dude, it's just absolute genius. So there you go. Welcome to the 8 o'clock hour. Tug and Los until 10, along with your Ray.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
I told you. Intro right into ghetto music. And like that's
so good.
That's the first big track where you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So good. We're glad that you're here. 404-741-1230, whether you want to talk about Outcast, you want to talk about Stone Temple Pilots, or anything in between. Otherwise, if you want to talk about the politics of the day, which remains out there because Hamas they are holding off on returning the hostages. I've been tried to be very clear on this. If you think terrorists were keeping up,
I don't think they're keeping track of bodies.
No, absolutely not. They were not keeping track of remains. They did not care. They do not care.
They even tried to pass a Palestinian back to him and just say, "Yeah, that was them."
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, you're talking about the first swap, right? Are you talking about the first prisoner swap? Remember, they were like this. They sent I think it was a woman home, and they're like, it's not the right person. And then I think ultimately they did get to the right person, but it just shows you how they don't care at all.
Well, this is for a group that doesn't value life. Do you really think they're going to treat your remains with any sort of respect?
No.
And I think we've been very adamant about it. When you try and do what you've done to that area, which is bomb it back into the Stone Age, there's just going to be some things that you don't get back. Fortunately, you got back 20 living hostages.
Which is great.
Which is great.
To be honest, I didn't expect that many.
But the remains of 24 other people, I just don't think you're ever going to see it. I know you were able to get like 4 of them. I don't think you're going to see the remnants of what they did and what that area has become, and be able to just be like, oh, yeah, they held on to that, too, because there was value there. If you don't value human life, you don't value remains either.
Why, no, of course not. And the difference is, in the United States of America, we do. We talked about my grandfather's ship, the USS Hope, being hit by kamikaze pilots, and they still gave them an honorable burial at sea. If you look at what we did with Osama bin Laden, we gave him an honorable burial at sea. And this is public enemy number one, and we still respected his remains that much.
We also wanted to make it a point. We didn't want the world to see what we did to him. We're like, yeah, that would be creating a bigger martyr. So Let's bury him out to sea.
100%.
And let's make sure there's nowhere that people can go over and give him, like, and honor him.
That's exactly right. But the way that the United States Navy did it, they gave him an honorable burial. They didn't
weekend at Bernie's him?
No. Have him back on the fantail.
Well, we had him as a marionette for a while.
Yeah,
we treated him as a piñata for a little bit, and then we decided, all right, it's time to get rid of him.
No, none of that. They gave him an honorable burial at sea. Everything Los has said is right. They didn't want a place that people could go pay homage and respect. They didn't want the world to see it, to be able to even go into that part of the ocean to be able to give him some sort of homage or some sort of martyrdom. We wanted that, but the Navy handled it well. They always do. And that's the difference in us and remains and the animals and the way that they handle remains. Now we're running into a bit of a problem. Because Hamas is saying now, we're step 7, right?
Step 7 in this peace process, before we ever get to 10, which is the reconstruction of Gaza.
Into a resort town.
We're going to turn the Gaza Strip into a resort town. And obviously have the international community as part of it. But we're now at the point, and it's not fully clear, and this is part of what was going on, the disarmament of Hamas. Now, to what level, that was supposed to kind of be determined by those on the outside. It was one of those, like, we'll get to that. When we get to there, we'll figure that out. Well, Hamas is flat out telling you, like, you ain't disarming us.
Yeah, we ain't doing it. We are not participating. So, when asked about that, Donald Trump had a very stern answer.
How long will it take Hamas to disarm, and can you guarantee that is going to happen?
Well, they're going to disarm, and because they said they were going to disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
How will you do that?
I don't have to explain that to you. But if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. They know I'm not playing games. Okay? Now, we did something monumental. We got the hostages back. That was the first thing we had to do. Above all else, get the hostages back. Now, they misrepresented because we were told they had 26, 24 of dead hostages, if we can use those terms. And it seems as though they don't have that because we're talking about a much lesser number.
But the main takeaway, if they don't, we will. And I believe that. Because all they have to do is say, okay, Israel, go.
Go at it.
Go do what you had planned to do to begin with, and that was turn, because 83% of Gaza is just in rubble. Go ahead and take the rest of it. Get rid of all of it.
Here's what Hamas is not understanding, or they just don't care. Now that you don't have hostages, you don't have leverage.
You got nothing.
It's like, you want to see what the Israelis will do with the blank check to do whatever you want here. Do whatever you feel like. They'll carpet bomb that place more so into the Stone Age if it isn't already there.
It definitely is. But to your point, and you have the backing of all the Arab nations.
All the Arab nations that are like, deal with them.
Dude, who are you? You don't exist to us anymore. We have so many people that are marching in the same direction that you're the outlier. You have nothing and you will be nothing.
I think this is very important. There was a story that you can find it in I think it was the Israeli Times. It had a story about one of the hostages, and they're at home, safe and at home, and it talked about his time in captivity and who was watching him. And he says the 3 people that were in charge that were basically starving him intentionally and having fun with it and talking about stealing aid and all that sort of stuff was a doctor, a first grade teacher, and a college lecturer. These were not just, they're militants, they're military. No, this is what their society is, where their doctors are willing to treat people as if they're subhuman. The rest of the region doesn't do this. That's why the rest of the region looks at the Palestinians as animals. It's why they're going to give Israel the blank check, the carte blanche, to be like, here, you need to hit them again, until they will live up to what they're supposed to. Now, the problem is, step 7 is amnesty for Hamas members who commit to peace and decommission weapons. All right, what type of weapons? How much? What are we talking about? If it's 0, then they're going to have to get hit again.
Yeah. Dude, have you thought about this? I'm sure you have.
I think about a lot of things.
When you're right, me too. Sometimes I think about so much that I get across.
I'm just at home going, oh man,
dude,
this is a lot.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
You're not kidding about that. And I've shared that with my wife a few times. I was like, sometimes it gets so heavy that I have to check out. I've got to go read about Outkast getting inducted into the Rock and Roll.
I have to think about Scott Weiland and what he's doing on a tour bus with his cocaine.
Yeah, seriously.
His cocaine heart.
That is lighter than than the
thinking
rest,
about the implications of a region and what's going on.
The rest of the real world. But that also leads me to the thought of who's in the United States right now. If it were professors, teachers, and lecturers that are holding Israeli hostages, starving them, and at gunpoint, if you were to run those people through, even if we were checking who was coming across the border under Joe Biden, all 3 of those professions probably get looked at. Okay, they're good.
Well, I think this is the concerning part for me, and why I say it's an ideology, and all you can do is cleanse it from an area. It's one thing if I'm taking somebody who's dirt poor, who doesn't have a lot of opportunity, and hey, we're gonna have a re-education camp. Yeah. We're gonna refix some of this programming. I think you can do that, and I think you can do that with a certain level of ignorant people. I'm not concerned about the low-level street soldier, ignorant person who doesn't have a lot of opportunity. I'm concerned about the doctor, the lecturer, the teacher who shares this ideology, because you ain't coaching it out of them.
No, and that's
how you have to get rid of it. You got to bomb them.
And what Israel has done. That's exactly right.
You got to bomb the hell out of them.
And that's funny because we talked about this on Monday, how Saudi Arabia and I think it's UAE have a program to de-radicalize people, and they've seen modest success with it. But it's always with, just like you laid out, the really poor person that was just trying to do whatever they could to make a dollar. And you know, they've been told since the day they were born that Israel's the enemy and we got to fight them. When it's the upper level folks like you're describing, it does not work. And that is according to the Saudis and the folks, the Emiratis.
And the problem is, these street soldiers, the ones that are guarding hostages, they are the lower level folks, but they're also regular people in society, and yet they have these beliefs as well. You ain't getting that out of them.
It's tough, man.
I mean, you have some of them that came home, some of the people that they released from Israeli prisons They came home, and the first thing they started talking about was doing another October 7th.
That's exactly right, dude. This is going to be a lot of obstacles. There's going to be so many obstacles to this. But the one thing is, you have a strong leader in Donald Trump that you've not had in the United States in a really long time. And you have the Arab countries that are set to benefit, to gain by cooperating. That's the hope that I have, that some of this can work. When we come back, an unexpected agency is taking the lead on dismantling leftist violence in America. On Extra 106.3, the 8 o'clock hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
Did you miss Neil Bortz?
I am shocked.
Don't worry. He's live anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Oh, that radio show.
Did traffic cause you to miss some of the Kimmer Show? Get it on the app.
It's all the kids talk about on Monday at school.
With anytime show replays from the Kimmer, Bortz, the Morning Extra, Clay and Buck, and so much more. Plus local headlines and breaking news. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Exmark. Now, I know when it comes to yard work, typically you don't associate that with fun. Well, that's because you have not been with an Exmark mower. Get one this fall from Howard Brothers. Exmark, they're built for speed, precision, durability, making every single time you cut cleaner and every job faster. And that's where you're able to have some fun while you're getting the work done. Whether you're mowing lawns or cleaning up leaves, homeowner or a pro, Exmark helps you stay ahead of the work, giving you more time to enjoy the cooler season. So gear up and save time with the mowers that the pros trust. Find your next Exmark over at Howard Brothers today. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Exmark and with Howard Brothers.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Field service engineer positions offered by Electa Inc. in Atlanta, Georgia. Independently perform routine troubleshooting and repairs on the designated modality with an 80% success rate of diagnosing the problem while working within the escalation procedure. Must be willing to travel domestically 50%. Employee reports to Atlanta, Georgia, but may telecommute from any location in the U.S. Please submit resume to faith.gordon@electa.com. Reference job ID 9114595.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A stranger who saved a runner's life in Kansas and their surprise meeting in the hospital makes today's Dean's List. Kevin Ryder was set to go for a jog and all of a sudden went into cardiac arrest. He collapsed, but luckily was in a place where ICU nurse Grady Lenahan was nearby. Kevin was given CPR until paramedics arrived, and it kept him alive. He says he was just so grateful someone was there to help him. Meanwhile, a few days later, Kevin was recovering in the cardiac care unit with his family all around him when that same nurse that helped him on the street and saved his life walked in. Kevin immediately recognized Grady and was overwhelmed with emotion. Kevin was able to tell Grady in person how appreciative he and his family were that Grady was there when he went into cardiac arrest. Grady and his wife, along with his 7 kids, took a picture to remember the moment and to share it with others. Janice Dean, Fox News.
Fox on Tech.
Does the government need artificial intelligence to regulate artificial intelligence? This was one of the big questions lawmakers posed to tech experts in a hearing that focused on the opportunities and challenges that AI poses to healthcare, education, and the workplace. Republican Senator Bill Cassidy chairs the Help Committee.
If government is going to keep track of AI and all its whatever, does government need to develop its own AI as a regulatory agency to monitor the AI?
The hearing comes on the heels of a report released by Senator Bernie Sanders, which estimates AI could replace more than 100 million workers over the next decade.
We want to rebuild manufacturing in America, but that won't mean anything to a worker if it is the robots doing the manufacturing.
And a bipartisan focus remains on protecting children who interact with AI chatbot systems. Lawmakers recently heard from parents who say chatbots encourage their children to take their own lives. With Fox on Tech, Alexandria Huff, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Wednesday, October 15th. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport has refused to air a DHS video featuring Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The video blames Democrats for the ongoing government shutdown. Airport officials say they aim to maintain a neutral environment. While the video has been rolled out nationwide, several other airports, including Portland and Phoenix, have chosen not to display it. Early voting is underway across Georgia for the November 4th municipal races and 2 public service commission seats. The seats in Districts 2 and 3 are up for election after years of delay, with Republican incumbents Tim Echols and Fitz Johnson facing challenges from Democrats. Early voting ends on October 31st. And country singer Jay Allen is paying a visit to an Ackworth senior living facility for a live performance. His Living Gracefully tour aims to shine a spotlight on Alzheimer's and dementia. He'll be performing at Celebration Village in Ackworth tomorrow night. Today's weather, another beautiful fall day. Clear and sunny with highs in the lower 80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10, just discussing.
That'll be for tomorrow or the day after.
No kidding. We're just discussing the legacy of Obama, but behind the scenes, and just the fact that he could not stand the harmony that was.
He nuked the
happening.
culture.
He did, absolutely.
He nuked it.
Without a doubt.
Think about where we were and what we just finished. We just finished talking about how monumental Outkast was to us growing up and what they did. And then here's September 2003. Here's Speakerbox Love Below. We're like, this thing is celebrated as a genius.
So good.
And the culture is the culture, and we're all involved in it. And then a man came along
5 years later
who basically was like, yeah,
y'all can't get along like that.
Y'all can't get along like that.
We've got to shake this up.
We've got to nuke this thing.
And he did.
So we'll get into that.
Still working.
It'll be a good topic to go through.
No doubt. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. If I'm being honest, my favorite person in the Trump administration is Scott Bessent. I just think he's a silent killer. He's the quiet assassin. And he says that the Treasury Department is taking an active role in defunding these organizations that are causing leftist violence in America. Listen to this.
Charlie's death is like a domestic 9/11 that we are going to find. It has alerted us to what Charlie knew, that these organizations are working within our borders. And look, we believe people have a right to free speech. They have a right to organize. They have a right to protest, but they have to do it peacefully. They cannot embrace violence, and we have seen it. We've seen it since the terrible day 2 years ago, the anti-Semitism and the bias that came out after October 7th, 2023. And many of these organizations have been financed by nonprofits, and it's going to stop. And we are going to, as they always say, follow the money. When you see these groups where all the signs match, they have hundreds of the same umbrellas that they're using. After they cause the mayhem, they have the same lasers that they're using to blind our police force. How are they constructed? Because this takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of organization, and we are going to do that. We have started to compile lists, put together networks, and there's a long record here. And we don't know how much of the support's coming in from overseas. We don't know how much being supported by U.S. nonprofits, C3s that give money to C4s. But this is mission critical for us now, just as after 9/11 and Osama bin Laden, the ultimate culprit, was captured. We are operationalizing this here at Treasury, and we are going to track down who is responsible for this. So Charlie's death has set this off, and we are determined. We're determined not only to honor him, but to keep our country safe and to ensure freedom of speech on both sides.
Man, when he says this, I believe him. He said, we did it after 9/11, and we solved the problem. We disrupted those networks. We did everything we needed to do, but all through Treasury because we're looking for the money trail. And I love the fact that he pointed out NGOs, love the fact that he pointed out leftist groups. And the one thing that I wrote down before he got there, he said, outside influences outside the country, cartels. This is what we were talking about in the last segment. There's a connection there. There's a connection, and there's a reason that those 50 diplomats, and if you saw this story yesterday, Trump removed the visas of 50 diplomats from Mexico. All of this is working together, and Scott Bessent sees it.
If you take the money away, I think you take some of the fervor.
Absolutely.
If these people are not being compensated to do this, if it's strictly left to, all right, you've got to be a dedicated, what it really comes down to, an anarchist, but you don't have the money to do it, which means you got to go over to Starbucks in the morning and work your 8 hours, and then you go play activist after that. I don't believe you'll have the same sort of fervor for this.
No, of course not.
At all.
No, I agree with you 100%. And when you talk about that activist, the ones that are getting paid to be out there, maybe they believe in some of the nonsense, but they're getting paid to be out there. The CEO of Crowds on Demand said their requests for activists, and you have to be ready with it. I mean, there's a certain pay scale. If you can be ready within 30 minutes, 15 minutes, ready within an hour, on location, those requests have been up 400%.
Not that you would, but have you ever looked into, let's say, riot gear?
Like to buy it?
Yeah.
I'll admit I'm not.
Okay. It's expensive. All right? Like that tactical riot gear is expensive. And yet we have a video yesterday from Portland, from across from the ICE facility. Here comes the U-Haul truck with just bags full of this equipment to basically hand off to the protesters to basically make sure that Antifa is loaded up with the same gear as what our officers are using.
Yeah.
That takes lots of money. That's
And
not
plans.
for your barista, at Starbucks to then say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to spend $2,000 on riot gear.
Yeah, because I can't afford that. Normal people really, nobody could go out and just say, hey, or at least normal people, be like, hey, I'm along with groceries and the power bill, car payment, mortgage payment, I'm going to spend this extra $2,000 on some riot gear. It's just that doesn't add up, doesn't make sense. And that's why and I love the fact that Scott Bessent says, we know and we're finding out. We are going to track every one of you down, and we're going to do it through your financial means, because that will put an end to a lot of this. And there's so many people that are going to be just left out in the cold.
I'm going to buy you the Damascus full riot gear suit.
How much does that cost?
$855.
Exactly.
Damascus?
Yes.
It's got the cool patterns on it.
Oh, wow.
How about the NB Tactical Gas Mask Respirator? Low price of $240.
Yeah.
By the time you
fully suit up,
we're talking $2,000.
Yeah.
This is coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they're now tracking. This is very similar to what you do with the mob. It's like, how do you get at the mob? You get at their money.
Yeah.
How do you get at terrorist organizations? You get at their money.
And I love the fact that Scott Bessent is so laser focused on this, man. This dude's a genius. I believe the man's genius.
He's your favorite.
He's absolutely.
He lights you up every time. You're like, yes.
Person in the administration, because he's so like Stephen Miller, who's great. Like, he comes guns a-blazing. He wants you to know. Scott Bessent's like, yeah, we're coming for you. That's all he needs to say. He don't need to say anything else. And he's going to show you his work. You're going to see his work. And then when these people are, in handcuffs or whatever happens to them, he's not going to take a victory lap. He's just going to be like, yep, job done. That's the kind of guy that I like. Dude just stealth and does things the way it's supposed to be done. So I love that. And I think that these leftist groups and these NGOs and these cartels that are working together on all this are going, and even the Venezuela thing, because we blew up another one of those drug boats yesterday. There's something that connects all that in there too. I've not put my finger on it all quite yet, but you can see the relationships. It's so clear.
See the difference in what you have with a Pete Buttigieg versus Scott Bessent, somebody who's actually good at their job.
Yeah.
Because Mayor Pete, every single time it was, they're only doing that because I'm gay.
Right.
They're only going after me because of this.
Scott Besson's gay and nobody even brings it up because nobody cares.
Because he's so good at his job.
He's so good at what he does.
Doesn't matter.
I couldn't care less.
Huh. That's weird. Anybody else notice that?
Yes, I'm sure.
Just so
I'm sure this audience has.
Just so you recognize that when somebody is not good at their job, the first thing they turn to is, well, you're only doing that because I'm black. You're only doing that because I'm Asian. You're only doing that because I'm gay.
That's
right. Like, well, do you have the position because of that? Because Scott Besson doesn't have the Department of the Treasury because he's gay.
No.
It's because he's good.
He's really good at what he does. And he doesn't need that deflector. That's why it never gets brought up. I mean, I think I've heard him speak of that in 8 or 9 months now, one time. And that's because he was asked about it, not because he brought it up. Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3. Along the same lines, I've always had the slightest crush on Jillian Michaels.
I'm sorry I kind of hurt you on that one.
I never realized. I didn't know that if she walked by, I'd be like, hey, girl. And if I walked by, nothing.
I said to you, because you brought her up, and this was right when, I don't want to say that Jillian Michaels was getting political, but...
Well, but just being more open about her politics.
She was being more open about her politics. Yeah. Remember, she's been on TV now for 20 plus years.
Biggest Loser was that
Biggest
the show?
Loser in the early 2000s, where everyone's like, who is this like rock hard, mean trainer?
Hey now. Oh, hot. Yeah, that's right.
And also,
so hot.
Pretty attractive.
Yeah. So hot.
And then as I told Tug, she has a wife. And you're like, what?
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Like she's not interested in you.
No, she has no interest.
She has no interest in us.
That's all right.
That's fine.
Yeah, no.
It makes it more fun.
So I hear.
So I want to play you this. She goes on Sage Steele's podcast, and this goes right along the lines when we played Scott Adams yesterday, and we talked about how if you have been on board with this stuff, the ultimate price is Charlie Kirk. Of talking about what this matters, trying to get Trump into office, talking about some of the craziness that's going on in this country, and he paid for it with his life. But there is a price to be paid over the last decade for doing this. Like, I still think about it. Full disclosure, when I was up for my last contract with this company, and I've always been taken care of, it's not a problem with that. But when I had other companies approach me, part of it was, well, we're a little bit concerned about the damage you've done to yourself working in this part of the media versus going back to sports. Like, what do you mean damage I've done to myself? You're a Trump person, right? That's a concern. Yeah. Right. It's part of what we saw with Paul Feinbaum and ESPN.
That's right.
It's like, wait a minute, you just let everybody know how you vote, what you think.
Yes.
Oh my God, what does that then make half the audience not care for him? That's part of what happens. It's legitimate. So take a listen to Jillian Michaels. She started talking about all the things that have changed for her and her wife.
I said to my business partner the other day, I was like, well, my wife just got like 10 more death threats in her DMs. And someone called my son a little Nazi. And I was dropped by CAA's Speakers Bureau and like all these things you go through. And I was like, maybe we should have just endorsed Ozempic, sex changes for kids, and wide open borders. Like, we should have just left it. I should have been the poster girl for all of it, and none of this would have happened. But honestly, on my deathbed, I would have regretted it all.
Wait,
so
were you
right.
dropped by CAA Speaker Bureau because of this thing that we're talking about right now, or is that something else?
I was dropped by CAA Speaker Bureau for saying on CNN that you cannot lay all the evils of the world at the foot of just one race.
That was her previous cancellation, Sage. You might have missed that one.
Yep. Very next day, I was like, didn't
So
even
are
answer.
you still with CAA for your representation?
No.
No.
So,
and if you look at the list, and I've
her agency's like, yeah, we can't represent you.
And I'm looking at their list of people. All of them are lefties.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
You've got to sing the song.
Yes, you do.
As she said, we could have just said, let's go Ozempic and wide open borders, and we're fine.
And nobody would have said a word.
Nobody says a word to her.
And CAA is still promoting her, getting her, I don't know what she makes per speech, but let's say it's a couple 100,000. Let's say it's or 100,000, whatever it is. She would still be rolling in the dough. But she took a stand.
Yep.
Because it was more important than the notoriety, than the relationship, and the money. That's where the rubber meets the road on most everything.
It's when you choose to take that stand. Now, here's this is why we talk about the people that advertise with our station and why we love them in the way that we do. Because all of us know about this. That's why we support each other. That's why when we had a media member reach out to us and we're like, hey, I need to get a safe. We're like, Atlanta Safe House. I was like, this is what they're doing. And where was he going? Immediately there. Because it was, y'all talk about stuff I care about. I need something. I'm going to your advertisers first. We have to support one another in that way.
So all we ever ask.
Because when you decide to get out there in the way that we do and Jillian Michaels did and everybody else who does this sort of work, there is a cost to be paid for it. There is a price there.
You can't hang out with Ambassador Susan Rice anymore. You can't hang out with Charlize Theron anymore.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, I know, right? But those are the type people that are under the CAA umbrella for speakers. And she said, I can't do this anymore.
She could have just said Ozempic and open borders, and she'd be like, I'm good.
And
We're
she
good.
decided not to.
I don't have to deal with death threats.
That's right. Yeah. Or my little kid being called horrible, heinous names, terrible names. Terrible. Morning Extra at Extra 106.3. When we come back, a trend is coming to its end, and it's one that you will care about. Next on Extra.
Latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, October 15th. From the Major League Baseball playoffs, the LA Dodgers are now up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Brewers after a win last night, 5-1 the final. The Dodgers now head home for Game 3 tomorrow night. On the American League side, with their championship series, that continues tonight from Seattle as the Mariners lead the Toronto Blue Jays 2-0. That game will start at 8:08 tonight. Week 7 in the NFL begins tomorrow night. The Cincinnati Bengals host the Pittsburgh Steelers in an AFC North matchup. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Fall is in the air, and Central Heating and Air Conditioning is making it the perfect time to upgrade your comfort. For a limited time, you get up to $2,100 in rebates and 60 months, 0% financing with approved credit. That's right, savings up front and no interest for 5 whole years. A brand new carrier system from Central delivers dependability, efficiency, and comfort every family deserves. Central Heating and Air Conditioning have set the standard in heating and cooling for over 3 generations. And now's your chance to bring that comfort home with the best savings of the season. These dual incentives don't come around often, so act now. Call 770-GET-HEAT today. That's 770-GET-HEAT. Or visit centralheat.com, centralheat.com. Upgrade your comfort, lock in your savings, and turn to your Atlanta carrier experts. Central Heating and Air Conditioning.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Faith, family, freedom. These are the cornerstones of America and the foundation for a successful life. But today, all three are under attack. Crushing debt, out-of-control spending, and reckless policies in Washington are threatening your savings, your retirement, and your future. Hi, this is Glenn Beck. The only financial advisory firm I recommend in Atlanta is Nicholas Wealth Management. David Nicholas and his team believe protecting your money is about more than wealth. It's about defending your faith, your family, and your freedom. If your hard-earned retirement is left exposed to market chaos, higher taxes, or inflation, what happens to the life you've worked so hard to build? For over 20 years, David Nicholas has helped families right here in Atlanta fight back with retirement strategies built to better withstand uncertainty. Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 404-890-5606, or visit nicholaswealth.com. Aim to safeguard your future today.
Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm that uses a variety of different investment strategies.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
Saving you money, I'm Hillary Barsky. If you're a frequent flyer, it might be worth it to check out TSA PreCheck and Global Entry. Both services offer expedited security screening and other benefits. TSA PreCheck is used primarily for domestic travel, while Global Entry includes expedited customs clearance for international travel. Both programs require an application, background check, and fee payment. First-time enrollment for TSA PreCheck costs between $78 to $85 for a 5-year membership, while the Global Entry price tag is $120 for a 5-year membership. The lines for TSA PreCheck are often shorter than standard security lines, and the service offers expedited benefits for domestic flights departing from U.S. airports and lets travelers keep their belts on and laptops packed. Global Entry includes TSA PreCheck benefits plus expedited U.S. customs screening for international air travelers entering the U.S. Saving you money, Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
The only thing better than covering all these Trump wins is watching the left implode over it.
Donald Trump is entertaining the world while he's changing the whole freaking planet.
Extra 106.3 is committed to bring you the news you care about most. From Atlanta legends and conservative voices you've relied on for a generation. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Just over here, we're looking at AI animations. One of Los's sweet baby girl bringing the picture to life, and it looks almost real. He told me about one that he did of your grandfather before he was shipped off to war.
Yep.
And you showed your father, and
my dad he was like, "Can you send that to me?" I was like,
my
yeah.
gosh, absolutely.
But it all started because somebody animated the Time magazine picture of Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's right.
And he puts on a sombrero and gives you the finger.
And it looks so
I'm like,
real.
it looks really good.
It looks so real. Because he's unhappy with the Time magazine picture that's on the cover. He said the article he felt like was pretty fair. But he said he hated the picture, didn't like the picture on the front. And I'll admit, when I saw it too, I was like,
it's not the best picture.
Yeah, it's not the most flattering picture. And there's something that in me that believes there may have been some intent behind that. I don't know. Just a gut instinct. But yes, that AI that went on was really, really cool. So we're on the air until 10, and we're glad that you're here. We're grateful that you spend time with us. And this is a topic that we talk about quite a bit because it's such a culturally relevant topic. And it seems like the left is so enamored with it. That's the only thing that they discuss. And now the trend is turning away from them.
The trend is over. The trend is done. So in 2019, if you go by what ends up being this data that came from FIRE, it points out the amount of students not identifying as male or female. Starts in 2016, runs to 2025. And in 2019, it's 0. And then we had COVID in 2020. And suddenly kids are at home, and now the real grooming hit. Like I saw it in my own house with some of the crazy grooming that was going on. And some of the stuff that you would see on YouTube and the push that was made for the pedophiles to try and enhance their numbers. And where did we get to? At a max, you had 9% of young people in 2023 that considered themselves neither male or female. 9%, which was crazy. It's astronomical compared to where it was. All right, where is it today? We're back under 2%, baby.
Yeah.
It has tanked. It has dropped. And because I, too, don't believe in coincidences, this is your timeline at which you had Elon Musk buy Twitter. And suddenly now the discussion of what is really going on and the harm it does to people, now it's out in the open.
And the profiteering.
And the profiteering off of it.
With it.
And what it did, it cratered it for many young people. They got more information and they made a decision. It was, hey, maybe I am dealing with mental illness. Maybe we shouldn't be at 9% any longer. When you have something go from 9% to less than 2% in the span of 2 years, that lets you know the trend is over.
And the crazy thing is, Los and I, we've discussed this a million times. No ill will toward those kids that are experiencing gender dysphoria. I believe that's a real thing, but I believe it is a mental illness. And I hope their parents are wise enough and the people around them are wise enough to get them the help that they need. Because most kids grow out of this. The studies show, the science shows.
Puberty kicks in.
That's right.
And here's what happens.
And things start trending the other direction. And you can see, like you said with that.
And oftentimes there is typically an aspect of autism that goes along with this as well.
Huge numbers there. Yeah.
And so what I will tell you is that there was the day with the fanny pack. The fanny pack is back, though, right?
Yes,
it's back.
it is.
All
It
right.
is.
But there was a time, like in the 90s, the fanny pack, everybody had a fanny pack. There was a time for parachute pants. All right, big old crotch pants, big old pants. Yeah. Come on, that's part of. Thank you, Hammer, for bringing those to the front. There was a time for rap rock fusion where every single band had to rap. All I'm saying is during this trend, hopefully you didn't cut your wiener off. Because that's all it was. It was a fad. It was a trend. It was a societal trend that grand opening, grand closing. And now we're back to it's going to be 1% of the population that you're going to have the Democrats that are going to consistently push to. They really thought they were going to have like this, hey, there's going to be this new group of 10% of people that will view themselves this way. And we'll be talking to them. It'll be the new angle. And then they had puberty.
Yeah. And I would like to think at some point that even those in education that have been pushing this and pushing this and pushing this are going to see this and pull back from it. I would like to think that. I'm not guaranteeing that by any means. But you have to think some of these teachers that have been so aggressive on this stuff, and specifically behind the parents' back most often, that they will recognize it and they will realize it and then pull back on some of that too. Like I said, I can't guarantee it, but I hope that's what I see.
I'll give you another piece of information. So when you look at the trend lines with this study, you'll notice that gay and lesbian does not change. It remains at the numbers that it's always been at. What then starts to change is the amount of people that represent heterosexuality. That's up by 10%.
Yeah.
The whole idea is, wait a minute, it's actually cool to just be a regular person in terms of, for the longest time, it was you couldn't claim to just be a straight person in high school or college because that made you somehow weird.
Yeah, right. You're talking about the inverse, the flip-flop of things in life. But that's the thing. You had Gays Against Groomers. You had all these organizations going, they just won't allow us to be what we feel like we are. We have to be something else. We have to be pushed further. And they won't even allow us to exist. I remember when they were talking about that. So, like, gay and lesbian women, gay men, lesbian women were saying, man, I've been told every day that I need to go further. This isn't good enough. That's the crazy, crazy part, that they just continue to push so hard for political reasons.
Well, this is why I say it's a fad. Because also, and again, this study has so many tentacles to it. There's so many ways you can go with it. For instance, we've talked about how we are seeing more activation as far as going to church. We're seeing more people that in the chaos of life, they have moved back towards religion. That has been their response to this. The interesting part is that when you look at this study, young people, it stayed stable. So it's not like they've had a larger amount of religion in their life. Yet the trans numbers crater. So it's like, so what caused it? Somewhere it became within the young people, yeah, that ain't cool.
Well, I think,
but I'm just saying, it wasn't based on religion.
No, right.
It wasn't based on it was like fads fade out.
Dude, it's almost like common sense kicked in. You know, when you had those young men walking out of high schools, and there were several across the country going, they're letting dudes walk into the girls' bathroom. That's not right. They're letting dudes take the place of women on their own sports team. That ain't right. And then the girls. I mean, you had, what's the lady, XXXY, used to work at Levi's. What's her name?
Jennifer Say.
Thank you. She was like.
Man, what a pool.
Yeah, that was a good one. But when she was like, I don't care anymore. I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm a liberal. And she's not like she's a conservative.
No.
But she sees what's happening, and she's like, that is not right, and I'm going to push back against it. It's almost like the timeline. It was pulling so hard to the left, and she didn't move, but she got closer to us just by attrition almost.
Another aspect of this, mental health. Okay, the numbers aren't significantly different there either. It's just that, rather than saying, well, I'm clearly trans, it's, no, I deal with anxiety and I'll figure it out.
I need to get some maybe somebody to talk to. I need to go to a licensed professional that has helped people deal with this before, because something's going on in me that I don't know how to help, and I don't know how to fix myself. Like if you sprain your ankle, wrap it up.
Right.
But if it's a deeper thing, then you need somebody that understands that.
So wild numbers, and it's a great study. And again, if you want to go, like one of the people that has it posted and goes through all of this is Eric Kaufman, EPKAUFM on X. And it's all the data that comes over from fire, and it's fun to look at, and you can start kind of drawing some ideas off of what it is, and it's basically that it just became not cool. That's the fad. Mental health. It wasn't religion. It just, the fad ended.
And more information about the fad too, I think. Because you talked about how it kind of arced on when Twitter was bought by Elon Musk, having more information, making good sound decisions, and then the trend just going away. The Speaker of the House drew a line in the sand for Democrats who do not want to pay our military during this government shutdown. Next on the Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
If ever there was a vivid example of left-wing, liberal, mindless dementia, it would be Mike Lukovich, Atlanta Journal-Constitution editorial cartoonist. Talk about lightweight. But my goodness, he's been around for decades. Unexplainable. Anyway, a cartoon he had on the 12th. The title is The Enemies Within, and it's a picture of Donald Trump. And in Donald Trump's hair, you have pictures of the enemies within, according to Mike Lukovich. Let me tell you who they are. RFK Jr., Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, the Vice President, Kristi Noem, Homeland Security, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, Steve Miller, Presidential Advisor, John Roberts, Chief Supreme Court Justice, all of them labeled by Mike Lukovich as enemies, more particularly the enemies within. Of what? Well, the United States. Oh, wait, I forgot one. Vladimir Putin. He's in there, too. Now, left-wing violence has become a thing. Brain-dead liberals are saying that if they disagree with you, that gives them a legitimate reason to take violent actions against you. Look at all of the people that Mike Lukovich has put in the crosshairs with his The Enemies Within cartoon in the AJC. Guarantee you, if some conservative listed a bunch of liberal meatheads and called them enemies, you'd hear a lot more about it, as you should. Mike Lukovich needs to go away with the printed version of the AJC. Neil Bortz, Xtra 106.3.
Securing America.
A celebration in Philadelphia Monday to mark the 250th anniversary of the formation of the U.S. Navy. Marine Lieutenant General Jerry Carter called the Navy a constant force for good.
And a vital instrument of national security.
The Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Darrell Caudle, noted that while war has changed since the Navy was formed, one thing has not.
We will never, ever back down, not while the safety of our people is at stake.
Secretary of the Navy John Phelan said the Navy is more important than ever.
The idea is as old as our flag.
To be a superpower, you must be a sea power.
And Phelan says that will not change moving forward as the Navy looks to
keep the peace, protect the innocent, and when called, to win the fight.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Israel keeps demanding Hamas give back all the hostages. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We will spare no effort and no means to return them.
That's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The 20 living hostages were set free Monday, but Hamas has only turned over 7 bodies so far of the 28 dead hostages it's obligated to return. Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv.
The release of these bodies may be a sticking point before entering into phase 2 of the agreement. Regional media reports that Egyptian teams will enter Gaza to help Hamas locate the remains. One of the bodies that was released earlier this week was that of Yossi Sharabi. His brother Eli was held hostage for nearly 500 days.
It was mixed feelings for our family.
Hamas is also supposed to give up their weapons as part of the Gaza ceasefire deal. President Trump says,
if they don't disarm, we will disarm them.
There have been more clashes in suburban Chicago between law enforcement and anti-ICE protesters who got tear gassed after throwing rocks. Meanwhile,
the Department of Homeland Security saying it's obtained credible intelligence that criminal organizations in Mexico are continuing to offer thousands of dollars, bounties, for U.S.-based sympathizers, including street gangs in Chicago, to monitor, harass, and assassinate federal agents.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. A Latin Kings gang member has already been charged with offering a bounty for someone to kill a Border Patrol chief. Los Angeles County, California has declared a state of emergency in response to federal illegal immigration raids. There's a voting rights case at the Supreme Court next hour over from one the justices heard back in March and will consider again.
A case that asks the question, did Louisiana lawmakers in 2024 rely too much on race to create a second majority black congressional district? Black voters sued in 2022 when the state legislature created one majority minority district, even though Louisiana's population was then 1/3 black. A group of so-called non-African Americans countersued.
That's Colonel Scott. America's listening to Fox News.
Dr. Halbert here. Are you tired of standing in front of the paint aisle wondering which product really works? That's exactly why I invented Blue Stop. It took me 10 years to perfect Blue Stop's unique and effective formula. As a surgeon, I saw how stiff joints, sore muscles, and body aches kept too many people from enjoying life. Blue Stop works fast, absorbs quick, and smells great. No prescription, no waiting. It's on the shelf right now at Walmart. Feel the difference.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words micro. That's pound 250, micro.
No traffic, no big deal. It's the Morning Extra on 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra. Made it to the 9 o'clock hour. You just never know. 9 o'clock hour can get off the rails quick.
We got so much to get into.
And we have to just tell you how grateful we are to have you part of the Morning Extra and part of Extra 106.3. Download the app. If you ever miss anything, go back and listen to it. It'll be live there as you want to listen to it as it happens, or on demand if you miss anything, want to hear it, or want to hear it again even. But that's one thing that goes on. You can reach out, 404-741-1230, or join us at Extra 106.3 on social media.
So it's been confirmed the Supreme Court is hearing now oral arguments on abolishing the Voting Rights Act, which that is what is used for so much of the crazy districting and the drawing lines by which, well, we'll only make sure that this community is represented in this area and this community is represented in this area. And if it goes away, that is part of where the Democrats are looking at it saying we're going to lose 19 seats in the House.
At least.
Without a vote being cast.
Right.
They'll lose 19 seats.
They are terrified of this. And they're going to spin it in the most racially damaging way that they possibly can. They are going to spend hours on CNN and MSNBC talking about this, of course, in the most negative ways possible.
And again, it makes it sound like, oh my God, you're getting rid of voting rights. It's like, no, the aspect that where this has now been brought up is Louisiana versus Calais. And that's basically the court case that's going to be heard. And so much of this really just comes down to the protection and fair representation for black voters. And, well, hold on a second. Well, why exactly is it just that? You should be talking about all voters, and you should be talking about all representation. And so that's part of what the argument in this case is. And we'll get into this with greater detail as the week goes on. But now that we're having oral arguments, this is part of delivering the House by no weird means. It's here, this law that has been abused may be going away.
Which is a good thing for you, is a good thing for everybody. And without Donald Trump, this stuff doesn't happen. We've never had a Republican with backbone. We've never had a Republican to see the path that we need to go down, and then when the path gets bumpy, staying the course. We've never had that. Now we do. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Another topic that's gotten brought up, and we pointed it out on Monday when Jamie Dupree, the writer for the AJC, you probably heard him up the dial a little bit.
We were going to ask
Neil, and we totally forgot about
what's wrong with him. But
Neil's brought him up in past discussions that we've had, and he's like, I'm not sure what happened to that guy because he used to be so by the book, and things have changed.
Can we be extremely honest?
Yeah.
If you're a reporter and all you do is report and you do a good job at it, that job is slowly going away at almost everything.
Yeah.
Now it's really about, well, you can be a reporter, but what's your opinion?
That's right.
And that's where it comes down to. And I think if I'm him, I spend so much time watching Bortz buy planes and buses and wondering, like, why don't I do that? Why don't I have an opinion?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe I should get one.
You know?
Yeah, no, that's right. Absolutely.
I mean, it's the whole reason why you see newspaper people, and this would happen, this is old school stuff. Newspaper people couldn't stand radio people. And
because we would just say it.
Because we would just say it. And they're like, well, I got to write it. I got to do this. But they would always do the same things. And I always say the same thing back. I can do what you do. You can't do what I do.
That's right.
And when they try, they fail.
Over and over again. Over and over again.
But so when they would get into the business of trying to have an opinion and then trying to articulate that opinion, and you don't have a back button and you don't have a delete button, it would be a problem. Right. But that's where the money's at. The money is in having an opinion.
And it's funny because a friend of ours, they asked, my wife and I were at dinner one night, and they asked, hey, where can I go to get unbiased news? And I was like, nowhere. What do you mean? Well, she was like, no.
What world do you speak of?
Back in the day when it was just a couple channels, and I was like, oh, they had their opinion. And they would work it in. It wasn't blatant, but they would work it in. They figured out a way. And they asked, well, where can I get something like that? And I was like, it doesn't exist. It does not exist. There are no people that are just reporting the facts. That doesn't exist anymore.
You used to have newsreels back in our World War II era. And the newsreels existed in order to keep the American morale up for the war and also to generate money for war bonds. That's where it was. It was the very infancy of state-run media propaganda. And it continued to the point. I finished, Turning Point, Vietnam War, all 5 episodes on Netflix. I finished it yesterday. And one of the aspects I thought was interesting was like in episode 3 or 4. And it talked about the role of the media. And the media went from, we're reporting on this war, to then a distinct turn, especially from CBS, that was, maybe we have a responsibility to end this war. Maybe we should start influencing how people look at this war in terms of making it very clear that we're against it. So the media started to pick up steam and realizing, I don't need the state. We can just do it on our own. Mm-hmm. And that has continued ever since.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that Vietnam, as messy as it was not handled the right way, and partially because of the media. It was not done the right way.
Watching that entire documentary, it lays it out for you, and it's like, what do you think? And there are so many points during that conflict where it's from the government, from the media. There's a reason why, and I firmly believe this. If you want to know the roots of distrust of government, it's not the Kennedy assassination, although I'm like, we lost our innocence that day.
Yeah, it's in there.
But that era is what created the point where the media had to be the arbiter of truth because the government was lying to you the whole time. Yeah, the Pentagon papers that'll tell you. Within them, the media was not aware at the time until it was out there how long the United States knew, hey, we can't win this war. And then it turned into a political football. So, like, the media does have a role in this thing to tell what they believe or perceive to be the truth. It's just now it's gotten to such a weaponized point that I don't think there is a place you can go to and say, well, I'm just going to get straight news.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
That's what I told our friends at dinner the other night.
Does not exist.
And they're like, well, what about this newsletter? I was like, go back and look who's writing it. I think they brought up one that, what is it called? Like 1440, I think is the name of the newsletter. But it was started by somebody at Vox or Politico or one of those outlets. I was like, so they may present it as we're not being biased. Look at the background of the writers. You'll know what perspective they're coming from. It's that easy.
I think this has been the rise of the podcast world and obviously what is going on here with Morning Xtra and Xtra in general, in that, yes, we are talking about stuff from a conservative viewpoint. But I also think that we are very out front with, here's what I believe, and here's what I think, and this is where it's going to be for my
this is why I think it.
Whereas the issue, I think what we have within our media is you have people that try and act like they're not doing that.
Yeah, they're above the fray.
Like, no, I'm just giving you the news. I'm like, no, I don't believe so.
You can't just come on 60 Minutes and say that, Mr. President.
I mean, we played the Katie Tur audio from MSNBC earlier today, and if you haven't heard it, it was when she talked about how she was so surprised that Donald Trump had gotten this peace deal done, and her contention of it was, well, is it just because he's so erratic that they fear him? Is it because, and her entire premise is wrong. It was always, no, the previous people are inept at making deals.
And didn't want the deal to happen to begin with. They benefit from there being chaos.
I go back to going through, and again, not that it wouldn't have happened this way, but when we got out of Vietnam, and again, I enjoyed the Turning Point 5 episodes on Netflix. Check it out. When they were at the Paris Peace Accords, one of the stipulations that the United States never moved for was, well, the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese need to get out of the South. In fact, as part of their deal, they didn't have to leave. Like, wait a minute. What do you mean they don't have to leave?
What have we been fighting for?
Who signed this deal?
Yeah. Who gave this?
Because it turns out Kissinger and Nixon weren't really good when it came to this stuff.
They're not Trump-level negotiators.
And yes, Johnson wasn't good at it either. I was like, so your premise, Katie Tur, is somehow that, well, Barack Obama was great at it. What? He was like giving pallets of cash to the Iranians. That was his way of dealing with it. The Biden was like, let's throw money at Ukraine.
And when Trump stopped, Obama did it, Trump stopped it, Biden went right back to it. It's horrible decision-making.
So instead, when these deals are getting done around the world, and your response is, I don't know how he's doing this, maybe because he's really good at doing deals.
It's what he says he's good at. So what he talks about, he doesn't talk about being good at a lot of things. One thing he is very out front with is, I know how to negotiate. I know how to get a deal done. And you've seen it on display on the world stage.
And he puts you in a very awkward place at times. Not me, not Tug, but right now, with what he has as far as taking tariff money and money from previous years and allocating it to the military, what are you going to do?
Well, if they want, they could possibly sue. They could say, no, don't take that excess money. Don't take that extra money and give it to the military. We're going to sue to prevent you from doing that. And Speaker Mike Johnson, he says, okay, that's what you want to do. Go ahead.
Look, my understanding of this is they have every right to move the funds around, duly appropriated dollars from Congress to the Department of Defense. There were some R&D accounts that had not been spent, and that's my understanding is that's the money that's being used to pay the troops right now. If the Democrats want to go to court and challenge troops being paid, bring it, okay? I'm grateful for a commander-in-chief who understands the priorities of the country, the necessity of national defense, and the urgency that we all feel and have voted for 8 times. Republicans have voted in Congress 8 times now between House and Senate to fund the troops and pay federal workers in all these essential jobs and agencies because we understand the necessity of that. Meanwhile, the Democrats voted 8 times to block their paychecks. I'm grateful we have a president who is willing to step up and do the right thing. Thank y'all so much.
Me too. It's really, really simple. Those people put their lives on the line. If the government is not responsible enough to be in session because of the Democrats, and we're missing 5 Democrat votes, that could crank this thing up and not be shut down and pay the troops, we have a president that says, I'm going to figure out how to do it. And then he even brought up donors.
I have a benefactor who will pay.
Benefactor that will get this done if this is not enough money. That is taking the bull by the horns and saying, I got to get this fixed. I feel strongly enough to get this fixed. And if you don't like it, sue us. I can't wait to put that in the campaign ad.
Right.
Sorry, I'm aggravated.
Yeah, I know.
Can you imagine if the Democrats actually tried to go to court to stop him?
No.
Now, the grounds by which you're doing it is completely legal.
Absolutely, that's right.
Congress is the
Go do it.
Congress has the power of the purse. But if you want to be that group that tries to sue to stop him from paying our American servicemen and women,
you want to talk about handing the midterms over on a silver platter?
Those campaign ads
would be
brutal,
incredible.
Sued in order to keep you from being paid.
Yeah. Our men and women in uniform.
So if you weren't clear who your domestic enemy is, the people that don't care about you, versus the one that does.
Yes. I can't imagine anybody don't know that. But because if you look, the cities that are on fire, those are not conservatives leading those cities. The cities with the most crimes, those are not conservatives leading those cities. Those that want to stop us paying the troops during the shutdown, those are not conservatives. Those are not Republicans. They're not. So I'm glad, again, that Donald Trump's like, I am fixing this problem. I'm fixing the problem. And he is, and good, because that's the way it should be done. I want to go back really quick, if you don't mind. There was a great thing that came up, and it was that the hostages were going to be somehow better off in captivity, Los, than the Palestinians are right now.
All right, so what is the moniker? This is CNN.
With the voice of Darth Vader.
That's right. So when James Earl Jones gives us this is CNN, it's like, all right, this is what I think about. So CNN actually had a segment in which, well, let's just play it.
And I think for sure, people who start to talk to the hostages who've only just been released will find that it will take a long, long time for them to recover physically but also mentally. It's been a terrible, terrible 2 years for them because not only are they there, they're probably being treated better than the average Gazan because they are the pawns and the chips that Hamas had. Now Hamas has given up all its leverage, by the way, by giving them all up. So that is a victory for the Israelis.
All right, let me just get this straight. So being held in captivity and starved and beaten for sport, well, that's probably better than the average Gazan. No, it's not.
I've never heard even anyone insinuate this ever in the history of time, that being a hostage, being held hostage at gunpoint is better than anything.
Amanpour could not be more wrong. This is CNN. In fact, when I was going through one of the stories, you can find it in the Israeli Times, one of the hostages came home, and he pointed out who was holding him hostage. It was a doctor, a lecturer, and a first-grade teacher. And they were all bragging about how they've been getting all their hands on all the food aid that's coming in. And he was, along with the other people they held, basically given 300 calories per day. And you were told, split it with the other hostages.
Yeah. Now, knowing that the deal was coming down, they probably tried to give these people more food.
Try to bulk them up a little bit.
So they don't look so emaciated.
It's all propaganda.
Absolutely, 100%. And I can't believe that Christine Amanpour couldn't see the obvious in front of her face.
The average Gazan, like, granted, you're living in a war zone, but living in a war zone is different than being held hostage at gunpoint.
Inside said war zone. I mean, you're getting both. You're doubling down. You're in a war zone and you're being held in a tunnel with no food.
This is why these people struggle when it comes to live television. Because now they're off the prompter, and what are you going to say? And you're like, are you dumb? Yeah. Are you that dumb?
I can't help notice.
Like, I don't pretend that I don't say things from time to time and go, that probably wasn't the way I really wanted that to come across.
Gosh, I'm dead guilty of that.
But I also don't recall ever thinking to myself, hey, maybe being held hostage at gunpoint, beaten and starved to death is considerably better than living in a war zone.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
That's right. No, definitely not. But that's what you get on CNN. And you'll continue because how long has she been there, dude? She's been there
years,
forever,
decades.
And ain't going anywhere anytime soon that I can tell. An unexpected agency. No, I got that wrong. Hang on, we're past all that.
Yeah, you're in the 9 o'clock hour, brother.
Right, buddy. Back us up like a crazy person. CNN is mad they couldn't convince men not to be attracted to beautiful women. What? Next on Extra, 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.ca.
If you listen to Extra, share it with a friend. It's how we grow and how we can reach everyone in the Atlanta community that believes in the American way of life. If you value the station, help us grow by telling someone about the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, it's Tug. Football season is here, which is great. Been watching all my favorite teams, and you have those games that are great, and they hinge on inches. They hinge on mistakes, and nobody ever cheers for a fumble. Goodness gracious. Well, the same thing goes for your exterior remodel. One missed call, one busted play. You're stuck with these costly mistakes. Do not risk your biggest investment, your home, on contractors that do not have a game plan. And when it comes to siding, roofing, windows, doors, here in Atlanta, I trust Southern Exteriors. Hey, it's Tug. For 26 years, they have been winning on the field. Crews that show up on time, communication that is not missed, the ball is not dropped, it is not fumbled. So score every time with Southern Exteriors. How do you get a hold of them? 877-9-SOUTHERN. 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co. They've been operating in Atlanta since 1999. Based in Jackson, Georgia, covering Atlanta, covering the entire Southeast, big enough to get what they need immediately, but not so big that you won't have a foreman on site. They will have someone from that company on site during your job. So if you got to tap the coach on the shoulder, figure out what's going on, make sure it's done correctly, make sure you got the right formation, make sure you got the right package on the field, then you'll have the person there to do it. So call the team at Southern Exteriors. They execute and finish strong. 877-9-SOUTHERN, southernexteriors.co.
Attention Extra listeners. The end of the year is closing in. Are your retirement plans ready? We at Master Plan Retirement Consultants are holistic retirement planners, including income and growth planning, tax strategies, and estate and legacy planning. Each piece of the retirement puzzle must fit together cohesively because we know a change in one area can inevitably affect the others. Our boutique team serves you with fiduciary care, ensuring every step moves you closer to a confident, sustainable retirement. Don't wait. There's still time to adjust your plan before year end. Schedule your complimentary consultation now at masterplanretire.com. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turf Co. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company
company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
I'm Chad Pergram with the Speaker's Lobby. Former Trump aide Steve Bannon asked the Supreme Court to overturn his contempt of Congress conviction for refusing to testify before the House Select Panel investigating the January 6th riot at the Capitol. Bannon's attorneys urged the justices to decide two issues that he has pressed in his defense: whether the government must prove a defendant knew his conduct was unlawful, and whether the composition of the January 6th panel affected its authority to issue subpoenas. Convictions for contempt of Congress are rare. A case about the subject before the Supreme Court is even more rare. But if the justices agreed to hear the case and decided those issues, it could shape how much sway Congress has over witnesses who defy subpoenas. Although Bannon never testified, the committee used video clips and other recordings showing that Bannon said Trump intended to declare himself the winner regardless of the result on election night. The House voted to hold Bannon in contempt and referred him to the Justice Department. Bannon was convicted on 2 charges of contempt of Congress in 2022. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Wednesday, October 15th. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport has refused to air a DHS video featuring Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The video blames Democrats for the ongoing government shutdown. Airport officials say they aim to maintain a neutral environment. While the video has been rolled out nationwide, several other airports, including Portland and Phoenix, have chosen not to display it. Early voting is underway across Georgia for the November 4th municipal races and 2 Public Service Commission seats. The seats in Districts 2 and 3 are up for election after years of delay, with Republican incumbents Tim Echols and Fitz Johnson facing challenges from Democrats. Early voting ends on October 31st. And country singer Jay Allen is paying a visit to an Ackworth senior living facility for a live performance. His Living Gracefully tour aims to shine a spotlight on Alzheimer's and dementia. He'll be performing at Celebration Village in Ackworth tomorrow night. Today's weather, another beautiful fall day. Clear and sunny with highs in the lower 80s. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Okay, I have this grand idea. I know that dudes really like pretty girls.
I like your ideas.
But what if we convince them to not like them? You think we can pull this off? You think we can get dudes to go, no, I don't like the pretty girl? No, of course not. I think that is I think that's a terrible plan. I think anybody who thinks that plan is a good plan is a complete fool. It's impossible. It's hardwired. You are going to see, as a man, you're going to see a pretty girl go, wow, I'll take that.
CNN has a story that they published from last week, and it's in CNN Health is where you'll find it, as in this is clearly a health issue.
Of course.
After years of progress on gender, the male gaze is back. Gaze as in like looking longingly.
Yeah. Hey, girl.
The entire story is how male gaze came roaring back this summer. Now, what is some of the stuff that we pointed out? We're like, American Eagle, you hit a home run.
Yeah. Sydney Sweeney, gorgeous, beautiful girl.
Like, we are back to hotness. I've talked about it during the summer. It's like, we're back, man. It's like, it's back. You can actually be a dude again. In Trump's America, you can actually take pride in the fact that you're a dude. In fact,
as if there's something wrong with it to begin with.
You can actually look at women and go, yeah, she's very attractive.
Like I did with Jillian Michaels.
Sure.
She has no interest in me.
Zero interest in Tug.
Still notice that she's a beautiful woman.
But CNN and others like them, all of their ilk, they're annoyed that they couldn't remake the male brain. That somehow we've backtracked because we're actually doing what we're hardwired to do. They failed to get us out of our impulses. But it does speak to the fact why you have liberal men where you'll go, why is he rolling around with that thing? It's like, well, he sees her inner beauty. Oh,
yes,
okay.
All right.
I'm only into her outer beauty.
Yes. At least to start the conversation, like if I develop a relationship with her later, is her inner beauty just as important as the outer? Sure. But the first thing that draws me in
is going to be the outer beauty.
Of course.
There are plenty of women where I've gone, listen, she's going to ruin your life. You don't want any part of that.
Like, I have like smoke show.
Yes.
Got a lot going on.
She's going to ruin your life. You don't want any part of that.
Didn't you have a friend?
I've got multitudes of friends. I have a friend of mine who ended up being married for like 7 months. Those of you that know, you know. And all of us were like, no, man, this is a bad idea.
It's not going to work.
And looking back on it, now that he's been married 14, 15 years, he's like, yeah, y'all are right. I'm like, thank you. Okay, yes, we were doing it with it. We were trying.
There's a great Morgan Wallen song along those same lines when he talks about how all of his friends were like, don't. And he was like, and the only thing they've said since you left is you got better since she's gone.
I have a friend of mine from college. First off, I didn't even know she was married because it happened so quickly and then ended so quickly. So she talks about her divorce, and I'm like, you were married? Like, for how long? And it looks like it was probably several months. All right, didn't know. Sorry, I wouldn't. But I would have also told the guy, listen, man, she'll ruin your life. Like, that is not, she will ruin your life. And sure enough, she's trying to.
Yeah.
So the idea that I'm going to notice the outer beauty first, yeah. What's up, CNN? This is how this works. This is how I'm hardwired. I'll figure out the other part later.
And it is the continuation of the species, if we're being honest. I mean, you kind of got to have it. If you want life to continue as we know it, you kind of got to have it.
It's the same reason why men who provide women with additional security, whether it be through wealth, whether it be through work,
brute strength,
whatever, why do you think she's attracted to him?
Because it's naturally built into.
That's what it is. That's what she's seeking. That's what she wants.
Imagine thinking through leftist politics, you could change nature. You could physically change nature because you've berated people and you've told them no. And dude, that's really what the backlash is about young people not voting for Democrats at all, especially young men, is because they told young men everything you see, everything you think, everything you feel is really bad. And you should be ashamed of yourself for even having these feelings. You can't look at a woman and go, man, she's a smoke show. You can't do that because it's evil.
Yes.
And the kids revolted. Young men revolted against it.
You better not do that.
No, that's exactly right. And they did. And look, Charlie Kirk came right alongside them talking about finding a beautiful wife, having as many kids as you can, live the American dream. It went hand in hand with what they were rejecting from the likes of CNN.
As you just, again, the article is after years of progress on gender, the male gaze is back. And it does, as you go into it, it talks about like how we seemingly slipped.
What do you mean we slipped? We didn't slip.
We didn't slip. It's like, we're good.
All young men did was recognize these people are telling me to do something that goes against my very nature and existence. And I'm not going to listen to them because they're fools.
That's basically what I came back to. It's like, as you read through the article, it's like, in the past decade in particular, I saw evidence of progress in my media diet. The movies, the shows, the books, and advertisements I consumed were increasingly giving women a seat at the table. Heroin chic fell away and body positivity entered the fashion world. It didn't need to, okay? Hot is hot.
But here's the thing. When they say body positivity, they also told you that being completely obese was a really good thing.
Stories about a woman stealing your man were traded for celebration of the girl's girl who resisted the competition for men's attention. So she didn't want to play the game?
She's sitting at home right now.
That's the game.
Petting her cat.
Right. She's mad at the world.
Angry. Probably got...
I burned all my looks away because I was playing the game that you told me I was going to have to play.
And the crazy thing is that young women, unfortunately, in many cases, young women listened to that garbage.
Yeah.
And that's why we have so many. That's why you see young men turning more conservative, young women staying crazy liberal. Now, is that the end-all, be-all? No, there are some young women who have rejected it, too, and said, no, this is crazy, this is nonsense. But there is a big sector of young women who are nuts. And my son, as a college student, he was like, Dad, whoo.
Some of them are, yeah.
And for one of his classes, when he was a freshman, he had to take women in gender studies. He was like, Dad, I have never seen so many angry people in one classroom at one time in my life. They were all ticked off at the world. I was like, how did you pass that class? He was like, play dumb and don't say a word.
All right, I'm going to give everyone the secret. And many of you already know it, so it's good. But you can give the secret away, too. If you come over to our tent, we have more fun, and we're a lot happier.
It's
because it's really hard to be mad all the time.
Unless you're looking for something to be mad about.
If you want to have your grievance every single day, you'll turn into Rosie O'Donnell real quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure that
you're gonna look like Hamburger with weird glasses.
Yeah, chunky, thick, goes weird.
Because Rosie looks like the bottom of my shoe with weird glasses.
And here's the other thing:
it's filled with hate.
I'm not sure that any of those young men that CNN was trying to convince, I'm not sure they ever stopped feeling the way that they did.
Stop talking about it.
They just stopped. They just quit talking because they knew they couldn't talk about it without getting yelled at, without getting scolded by somebody who's angry. So it didn't go away. It was just subdued.
I mean, we actually had a situation from a couple of years ago when a major beer company tried to pass off a man pretending to be a lady girl and be like, this is your new icon. Like, no, it's not. Not one bit. You know who does this actually works out well? American Eagle.
Yeah.
We're going to buy up all your pants.
And have you seen their stock since that happened?
Exploded.
And people are trying to replicate it.
What a great call.
Yeah.
Bringing beauty back into marketing. It never should have left.
No, of course
it works
not.
every time.
Absolutely.
What
right.
I tell you, laughs and boobs. Make me laugh. Show me boobs.
And I'm pretty
pretty simple.
Yes, and most men are.
And how did Bud Light apologize to you? Laughs.
Got Shane Gillis.
We're going to bust out one of the hottest comedians in the country.
And
all right, have at it.
And what's he talking about? He's there drinking beer and booze. Hanging out. Absolutely. Was it he's yelling at the guy with the beer? He's like
he's trying to get a beer.
Yeah. That's the whole ad campaign. And that's the current one, as a matter of fact. And it's crazy because I don't know one prior to that one. But you know what? I take that back. The first Shane Gillis one, I remember
the
that
black and white one where he's in the wrong commercial.
Yeah, those are two really funny.
He is actually sitting in a cologne commercial, and the rock guy who's supposed to be in the cologne commercial is actually in the beer commercial.
Exactly right. Why do we remember those? Because
it's funny.
That's exactly right. It's so easy.
So it's back. And thank you.
Goodness.
Thank you, Sydney Sweeney and the rest of America. Too bad CNN Health.
Yes. Sorry about y'all's luck. We thought we could really reprogram thousands of years. We could do it. They'll listen to us. No, they won't. I said this, I don't know, when Trump first started talking about moving the National Guard into cities and cleaning up cities that wouldn't clean themselves up. Obviously, there's been a lot of pushback. These people from the bench, these leftist judges say, no, you can't do this, Donald Trump. And in many cases, they've been able to stop Trump's progress. But that's not stopped the people who are proud that he's done what he's done. In D.C., so many videos of people saying, hey, I can actually go out to dinner and not worry about getting robbed. People in Memphis, we talked about this earlier. Woman posted a video that talked about having a home for 5 years, a home that she bought in Memphis. The American dream. But the American dream was missing parts. She wasn't allowed, or she wasn't able, to allow her kids to go outside and play. Now,
crazy.
Which is nuts. I mean, that's the biggest part of the American dream, having your home so your kids can play in the front yard. She couldn't do that. And now, because of the intervention there, Donald Trump intervening in Memphis with a willing mayor, a mayor saying, yes, come help us.
Yeah, thanks for the help.
And a governor in Tennessee saying, help us. Now that place is cleaned up. And you're not going to get it. Look, there's still a fight in Illinois. There's still a fight in Portland. Still a fight out in California. But there's a man, because I said this when it first happened, I was like, look, Atlanta could use as much help as anybody. This guy says the same thing.
This message is for Team Trump and the National Guards. Come to Atlanta. Come to Atlanta next. I know y'all done cleaned Memphis up. I see so many videos of Memphis happy. And as a homeowner, as a working man, as an entrepreneur, come to Atlanta. I beg of you. Get these YNs off these streets. Get these water boys off these streets. Come on. Because these males ain't doing Come to Atlanta. National Guard. Come on. National Guard, I see the work you doing in Memphis. I'm not one of them. I'm a black man. I care about me walking outside, walking my dog without having to walk with a pew-pew. Bring Atlanta back. Bring old Atlanta back. Get rid of these white ends and these single mom raising them. So let's do it, Trump. Bring the National Guard to Atlanta.
Dude is so convinced because of what he's seen, the progress he's seen. He said, I just want the crime to be under control. I want to live in a peaceful city. I don't want to have to worry about going to the mall or driving to the mall and running into some craziness.
So what's wild? A place like Nashville has really taken off. Nashville is just a great town, and I can't wait. We got a tournament there in the spring. I'm going to do me some Nashville.
Yeah,
I love
Nashville's
Nashville.
a fun town.
Nashville's great.
Oh, I love it too.
And it's one of those towns where you can walk on the street and there's no issue. That's supposed to be Memphis. And the wild thing that's happening is Memphis, people are being reminded like how great a town Memphis can be.
And it is.
For music, for food, for having a good time.
Great
You're
culture.
supposed to be able to take part in that Memphis culture. And what has happened? The crime is way too widespread for it to happen. So people are rediscovering, wait a minute, this is a great city if it has security. And it's strictly on whether or not people will accept the fact that you can change a city pretty easily if you really want to have law enforcement, and we get away from so much of this crazy BLM remnants and this, hate the police and defund the police stuff. If you get away from it and you actually demand a civil society, you can have it delivered in even the worst types of cities.
You've heard that same gentleman we played. We've heard him in every city saying,
everyone,
please come here. And when they do, thank you for doing it. I really enjoy safety and security. I love being able to walk down the street. I love being able to let my kids play in the front yard. I love not having to carry a gun out of necessity because I want to defend myself and my family.
Memphis has had over 500 arrests, sex offenders, gang members. This is what it's become. And suddenly, it's much safer.
And accepted because they told you and they told the residents, you have to accept it. There's no way to fix it.
Here's 500 criminals on your streets. Okay, now they're not there. Look what happens to your streets.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing what happens. Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999, 8779 Southern, southernexteriors.co. Since it's football season, this stood out to me. Trump runs his administration like a football team. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Wednesday, October 15th. From the Major League Baseball playoffs, the LA Dodgers are now up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Brewers after a win last night. 5-1 the final. The Dodgers now head home for Game 3 tomorrow night. On the American League side, with their championship series, that continues tonight from Seattle as the Mariners lead the Toronto Blue Jays 2-0. That game will start at 8:08 tonight. Week 7 in the NFL begins tomorrow night. The Cincinnati Bengals host the Pittsburgh Steelers in an AFC North matchup. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, you need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90NATION for your free estimate. And for a limited time, buy 2 windows, get 2 windows free, plus no payments for 2 years.
Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. We have exciting news. We are moving to a new location to serve you better. And as you can imagine, we would rather sell our inventory than move it. So drop by our Ackworth location and save hundreds and hundreds of dollars on all in-stock safes. Brands like Champion, Browning, Fort Knox, and many others. We also offer professional delivery and installation. And the really exciting part is our new location in Alpharetta will offer an even better selection to suit your safe needs. So go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com. That's AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
This is Bruce Hagan. The law in Georgia has changed, and it's going to be harder than ever to get fair treatment on your personal injury claim. If you have been injured through no fault of your own, call me. You need a real lawyer, and that's who we are. We're not some TV and billboard lawyers who don't even know how to get to the courthouse. I've been a Georgia super lawyer for 20 consecutive years, and that's because I try cases and I win cases. We get results for our clients, and we can get results for you. Hagen-law.com.
Summer is here, and it's time to enjoy your outdoor oasis as a family. Don't know where to begin? At Stovall & Company, we have everything you need to make your landscaping dreams come true. From premium mulch and topsoil to a wide variety of plants, trees, shrubs, and annuals, Stovall has it all. Check us out at StovallInc.com.
You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it hard to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
As the left's agenda continues to fail, the whining will only continue to get louder.
I will not stop today. I will not stop tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Extra 106.3 will continue to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Support our veterans and first responders and be the voice of your community when it matters most. Proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10. Getting ready to wrap up. Turn this thing over to the Glenn Beck program. After that, Clay and Buck. Biggest show in all the conservative media in the local afternoon show with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
You have a very limited window to enjoy us.
That's right. I mean,
but you can go back on the app.
Oh,
you can redo the whole show if you want.
All of it from beginning to end.
And you've got Warrior Alliance today?
Yes.
Okay.
Got some awesome
got
guests.
Some pretty cool guests coming up.
Spec Ops guys that have done incredible work. I mean, I think it's like 3 Bronze Stars or Silver Stars. I mean, it's nuts how these people are
life alone is fascinating.
Green Berets coming in to talk about helping veterans now in this role, now taking a step back after being a Green Beret for like 13 years, taking a step back and helping veterans in our community, which would be really fun.
We had a
really great conversation.
A mutual friend reach out to us after we did the John Carrico story time and talked about some of the whistleblowers within the government and then what the government did to said whistleblower, especially those within the CIA over their program that Carrico and a lot of other people were like, that's torture. It was like, we shouldn't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
One of our mutual friends reached out to us and was like, yeah, it was torture.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, I was attached to this. I saw some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So you get a lot of veterans who spent time overseas who now look at some of that and say, yeah, I kind of got a problem with that one.
Yeah, we weren't doing the things the right way. Donald Trump seems to run his administration like a football team. It's football season, and when I saw this clip of Trump just shutting down ABC, it reminded me of the song Kenny Chesney did, "Boys Have Fallen." Let me read you this lyric. I got your number, I got your back when your back's against the wall. You mess with us one man, you got us all. We are the boys of fall. And this is a song that was written and Chesney performed and had a huge hit with about high school football, just the experience of high school football. And when I saw Trump shut down ABC News for the way that they treated, George Stephanopoulos specifically, treated VP Vance, those lyrics rang true in my head. I was like, he's running this like a football team. Listen to what he said to an ABC reporter when they wanted to ask him a question.
First of all, congratulations. I don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead. Yes.
Next. No time for you, sir. No time. Because you went after my guy and I got his back. That's what it reminded me of.
Now, that's, you keep it in the football world, that's a very college football sort of tactic. Because if you're a reporter, and let's say you're on the beat in Tuscaloosa, and you're during the Nick Saban era, and Nick Saban decides, I'm not talking to you. I don't like what you write.
Dude, your career's done.
Your career's done. Okay, it's on to the next one.
That's right.
Now, can you do that with ABC? No. But, I mean, George Stephanopoulos already cost them money.
Yeah, what was it, in the millions?
They already cost him a settlement by calling Donald Trump a rapist.
Yeah.
And by the time you then see how he treated J.D. Vance, to see how he just cut him off, didn't allow him to even further, because, again, Vance was winning the argument.
That's right. So he had to shut him down.
And Stephanopoulos like, we can't have that, so he just went to break.
Yeah.
Well, you have the second most powerful person in the entirety of the country. You have quite possibly the future leader of the free world, and that's how you chose to handle that person?
He will remember that when he is. If all things work out the way they're supposed to and he is the next president following Donald Trump, he's going to remember you, George Stephanopoulos. And the thing is, you're right, you can't shut out ABC News, and I wouldn't want them to. But I'm just fine with him going, I got time for you. I saw what you did, and I want you to know, and I want everybody to know.
Really think that ticket, the more it kind of is coming into focus. Again, we are about 16 months away from another presidential election that gets cranked up, really.
Mm.
That's what I believe we're going to see. I think you'll see a ticket that's Vance and Rubio.
Yeah, I think that's the logical one for sure. Although,
and it's wildly interesting.
Yeah, it could, or a DeSantis, because he's going to be term limited in the governorship.
You're making sure that you have. I mean, Florida's blood red, and there needs to be technically Donald Trump is Florida.
Yeah,
so it's like you got Florida. But if you want to talk about rewarding and having some of these people that step in to be like the next in line, Rubio and DeSantis make a ton of sense.
And if it is Rubio, which seems to be the more logical, you'll see DeSantis with a position in that administration, with a next step.
Yes, you fulfilled your obligation as governor. This is what's happening next.
Which I'm all for, because I love DeSantis.
And let's also point this out. There is a little bit, and now it's not out there in the open anymore, but it's been settled. But let's face it, at one point it was DeSantis and Trump. That was it. And in order for Trump to be president again, he had to go right through DeSantis, and he did. With Trump clearing the field, it now goes back to, all right, DeSantis, you got a big place in this thing.
Yeah, I think he'll have a great spot in the administration. And maybe he'll throw his name in the hat for the primaries, but it just seems so obvious that J.D. Vance is the guy. I can't imagine that even happening.
But I do enjoy this era of Donald Trump and the treatment of the media. We're like, I'm just not going to talk to you.
Yeah, I got your number.
You wrong for that. Back. I'm just not going to talk to you.
You mess with one of us, you got us all.
I like it. I think you should be adversarial towards the media. In fact, one of the things I thought was really funny was Eric Trump, who right now is doing the book tour. Eric Trump did talk about how when the Trump Library is built in Miami, he's like, that's a great idea. There should be a media wing for all the misinformation, disinformation, the lies that were made about Donald Trump.
We're working on it.
He's like, we'll do an entire floor that's just on the lies of what the media was doing.
And they're funny.
And now that they're being called out for it, I hope that that's something that continues, whether it's Vance or whether it's DeSantis, because both of them. DeSantis goes at the media and he's like, y'all are lying.
Dude, Vance ain't afraid to.
No, I love it.
It's the new right, which you've labeled them and have since we've been doing the show. That's the thing. They don't back down. They have spines of steel. They believe in the convictions that they have in their hearts, and they're not willing to turn it over to a media that is going to come at them knowing, they're coming at you. You know where they're coming from. You know the angles they're taking. You know everything about them. And prior to now, so many presidents were well, we gotta play nice. No, you don't.
No, you don't. Not at all.
Not with them.
You don't accept their premise. You don't play in their world. I mean, we will forever be able to go back and watch the video with Leslie Stahl. They spied on my campaign, Leslie. No, this is 60 minutes, sir.
You can't say that.
You can't say these unsubstantiated. It's in the papers, Leslie. None of it's true. It's like,
yeah.
But forever will be. That's all she's going to be known. That woman has done tremendous amounts of work in journalism, and that's what she's always going to be known for.
Embarrassing. And 60 Minutes is still like, they still stand beside her. How ridiculous is that? That would be enough. If I'm running 60 Minutes, if I would be like, she got to go. We can't have that. That's an embarrassment. That's a stain. That does nothing.
That's her career.
No, of course.
In the same way that you have like media moments, like Jim Everett. Jim Everett will never, ever, ever get past him and Jim Rome. Was it stage? Was it real? Kind of looked a little bit staged. Maybe it was real. That's all anybody knows about Jim Everett. Not that he was an NFL quarterback. Is that he ran over Jim Rome on ESPN2 for calling him Chris Everett. He's like, you call me Chris one more time.
Yeah, I'm going at you.
Okay, Chris. Went right at him.
Yeah, no, it's I would have loved, and I wasn't able to see it because I just rewatched the video of that whole exchange with and it pans, or you can see him panning across to Trump, and you see Vance. I'd love to see Vance's face when that was going down.
He gave him the knowing nod, the wink. That's my man.
Got my back, and I'm going to have his because of that. That's locking arms. That's what football teams do. That's why I think Trump runs his administration like a football team. It seems very clear.
Turns and blows him a kiss.
That's right.
Mwah!
Got you, man. And that's the way dudes do it, though.
He's like, I got you, baby boy. Baby boy's over there with his rattle.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
That's right. Absolutely, man.
By the way, there's your districting for the state of Louisiana. This is what's going to be discussed with oral arguments in the Supreme Court today. If that is not gerrymandering, if that is not taking advantage of the Voting Rights Act.
And you probably can't see it, even on YouTube. You might not be able to see it, but you should know that it goes from the northwest corner of Louisiana.
From Shreveport to New Orleans, and it looks like it's a river.
It looks like, or Lake Lanier or something.
Yeah, whereas the rest of the state is drawn up accordingly. But this is how they get Democrat congressional seats in Louisiana, by drawing this sort of gerrymandering.
We hope.
They can lose 19 seats.
Let's
if this goes down.
Keep your fingers crossed. That'll do it for us. Thank you for being here. Share the Morning Extra and Extra 106.3 with a friend. Just one. Just one today. Maybe one tomorrow. One when you think about it. And we will be eternally grateful for that. For Los and Jure, I'm Tug. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.